Islam, Islam, Islam. Assalamu alaikum, Shabbat Shalom, Shalom. Peace, man, peace, peace. Doing the mic check real quick. All right, we good on the mic. Okay, we good on the mic. So, I want to say peace to everybody. Okay, peace to all the revealers of light. I'm gonna say peace and love to the people, man. I'm gonna say peace and love to the people, and I'm gonna give a shout out to all the nations out there. Yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to all the nations out there because you guys understand nationality and how important it is to connect yourself to a nation. Okay? Happy Holy Moor's Day. All right. So I gotta give a special shout out to my nation. Do you know what your nation is? I don't know. Comment below, please. Uh, you know, yeah, I'm definitely gonna shout out my nation, our nation, the Moorish Empire, Moab, Moab, the Moorish Empire. So yeah, man, it's going down. There's a lot going on. Fair use. Um, this is for educational purposes only. This ain't about making no money and nothing like that. Um, my disclaimer is in my description box on my channel. So please, YouTube, don't give me no copyright strikes, please. Read. I go in my description box and you'll see my fair use. Okay, my disclaimer. Okay, all right. Because we know that us revealers of light, us people that bring the truth, us people that overstand the only way that we can ascend is by love, the law of attraction. So, truth, love, peace, freedom, justice, those are our 5 principles. Understand that the first principle is love. Love, man. All this, genocide, we want to kill each other. The kids calling themselves demons. And man, did y'all watch The Exorcist? I just got that one question. Did y'all watch The Exorcist? Well, if you didn't watch it, the whole time they were trying to get some a nothing to pull the demon out of the girl. Now, today, you guys are asking for the demon. You're asking for the demon. How smart is that? We've never done that, man. So that's something that we gotta work on. We, us revealers of light that already know this, the people that have the light, that's who we give the light to. Honest to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and praise Allah, man, for giving me the clear mind and to have the understanding of what's being told, what's being read, what's being searched out. One more important thing before I go in. We was told that when Europeans start telling our story, then you already know. And they telling it, dog. They telling the gods and goddesses. They telling it. They all over the place talking about where the Moors at. We see all the evidence. We see all what they call Gothic structures, this is what they call them, right? But they're moral structures, man. They're moral structures, man. And we've been telling y'all this. We've been talking about this, man. All you gotta do is look for it, search it out, and once you see, first thing you gotta do, man, is know thyself. Learn who you are. Right about now, nobody should be out in the streets, man. There's too much going on. Go to work, go to school, come home. Period. Make home fun land and prepare. That's what we doing now. And lead and live peacefully. Live on your higher self. Right? Use your pineal to your third eye, right? Going all the way up the spinal cord, creating the kundalini, which is the Allah, the higher self of you. Arm, leg, arm, head. Allah made us in his own image. Circle 7. Read it. We got a lower self. We got a higher self. We are supposed to operate on our higher self. Our higher self is the Allah in us. So we be the gods and the goddesses. That's why we have the 5 noble titles here. The 5 noble titles be Il, Day, Bay, All, Ali. All of the angels, what are they called? Michael, Gabriel, L's, these are L's, these are gods. So whenever you see this Il at the end of a Moor's name, you already know. Start thinking. It's time to think. It's time to stop all of the goofiness. It's time to stop all of the genocide. It's time to stop all of the demon time. It's time to stop all of the face fighting, and you can't even walk past your brother and say, "Hey, bro, what's going on? How you doing? You all right, man? What's going on? You good? You okay? Did you eat today, bro? Did you eat today?" Brother say, "Man, nah, bro, I ain't eating." Bro, here, bro, boom, boom, bam. Give him 20. Bro, go eat, bro. No drugs, bro. No alcohol, okay? Use it every time. No drugs, no alcohol, okay? That's what I tell them all the time. They be like, "All right, man, no drugs, no alcohol." Okay, cool. But, you never know. But my intention, that's the thing, is having that pure heart. It's having that pure heart, man. It's having that pure heart. And not expecting for nothing back in return. Just doing it because you got a pure heart, man. So that's what we got to get back to, man. So when your boy Trump admits, and Trump admitted that the so-called, let me share screen. Pause for a minute, y'all. Cross your legs. We're going to be here for a second. Cross your legs, man. We're going to be here for a second. If they don't shut me out. They always try to shut me out, man. They either shut me out or try to shut me out. One of the two. Or do some ziggy zaggy stuff. Something, man. They always do something, man. Always doing something, man. And I just giggle it, laugh, high yourself. I don't worry about that. I move forward. Keep going. Don't stop. Rock out. That's it. We ain't got time for no crying, no whining. We ain't got time for that. What's that? We don't got time for that. So this is something else. Hold on. This something else is deep too. Let me go back. Wait a minute, hold on. They trying to hide the Trump thing. Wait a minute. They ain't hiding it. You ain't hiding it. Give me a second. I'm gonna come back to this. But I want y'all to know what Trump said yesterday. Said it yesterday. Said it yesterday. Trip me out. Trip me out. I was like, Trump is telling the truth. It's about time. Man. All right. Here you go, y'all. Here you go. Here you go. He says, African Americans built. Y'all see this? Now I can put it on the audio so y'all can hear it. But go to my Facebook channel, you'll be able to hear it, man. Just you should be able to read it, and just reading it should be enough. African Americans built this nation. African Americans built this nation. African Americans, what? Straw man, dead title, doesn't mean nothing. What it's supposed to say is Moors built this nation. Ain't that what I always talk about? Nation. There is no black nation. There is no African American nation. There is no colored nation. You understand? But there is a Moorish nation, and we finding all of the evidence all over the place. Even Europeans are asking, where these high civilization people at? Where are they at? We see everything all over the place. We see that everything is Moorish. We see everything. We see everything. We see it. But where are the Moors at? Right here. Those of us that know. All right? So Trump giving credit to the black Americans. Man, made out, I can't get to it and play it. See how they got it? It's crazy. I don't understand why it won't. But this is definitely Trump. Oh, here you go. So now they acting right. All right, y'all. Listen to this.
You're starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting. You built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it, bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right? African Americans built this nation. You built this nation. You're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to get. You built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it, bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right? African Americans built this nation. You built this nation. You're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to get. You built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it, bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right?
Now, did you hear what he said? He said, African Americans built this nation. Moors built this nation. There ain't no other nation with us other than Moab. Moab. And the Hebrew Yahudas, not the J's. J is not even in the ancient Hebraic alphabet, bro. So it's Hebrew Yahudas. and Moors here on the real promised land. Shouts to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, man, for shaking us up and waking us up and saying, nah, you guys are not straw man. You guys are not black, colored, African American. All these dead titles. That's called straw man by law. By law, man. So peace, man. I hope all is well. I hope everybody's good. But, man, look, it's time for us to start telling the truth, man. Now, another thing. Trump says, yeah. We built this nation. We, the only we that y'all did was whatever we told y'all to do. Because the Slavics, y'all are immigrants as well. Truth. Facts. Big facts. Read book. White cargo. Go to the Internet Archive. Type in white cargo. Look, if you don't want to read it, just to make I was gonna go to it, right, and show y'all, but I'll leave the description. I'll leave the link in the description box so you can go straight to the book, and you can either read it, or you can wait a minute, hold up, or you can plug up the earphones and listen to the audio. Just plug your earphones up. You could be at work and just listen to the book being read to you while you at work. So there's no excuse, man. There's no excuse to know thyself, to gain knowledge of self. Because when you got knowledge of self, you know who everyone else is. Facts. Let me show y'all this other thing that's going on too. Down in Canada. You know, I'm a solid alpha male. A solid alpha male, bro. And people don't understand how, like, everything has been twisted. Like, you know, doing the honorable thing, doing the right thing, doing the taking care of your children, you know, being a dad, not being a hashtag DBD. Stuff a lot. Not being a hashtag DBD, not being a hashtag deadbeat dad, not being that shit. Because this is what caused all these little kids is out here running around talking about they hard when only they moving their finger and all they want to do is be on demon time and kill somebody. See, if they really had dad with them, raising them right, they wouldn't be thinking like that. They dad would put him in place off the muscle and be like, no, son. No, ain't no demon time. I know this what all these dumbass rappers is talking about, but they stupid. They baby traffickers, baby eaters, blood drinkers, all types of stuff, man. Y'all see what your boy Doo-Doo going through? Doo-Doo, that's what I call him, Doo-Doo. That whole thing, I don't even talk about that no more. Whatever, see his lower self. And we got to always remember that. Read the Circle 7, Chapter 3. And it'll explain to you about these two selves that we have. We have a higher self. We have a lower self. So you are, do I got to explain that? The lower self is the dirtbag that's in you that you have to overcome. Understand this, that a soldier needs foes because the foes make you stronger. Because you got to steadfast and you got to stand on your square and you got to do what you're supposed to do no matter what the circumstances are. no matter what the circumstances are. You stand on your square. Period. Stand up for what you know. Because right about now, we ain't believing nothing. Everything we know now. I want to give honors to all of the Moors, the revealers of light, the brothers that have been, the sisters that have been coming through the ethers, the generations and generations before me, and us today also as well in this new cycle age. What I believe, because a lot of stuff is being is happening right now. Since the fall of Granada, 1492. Well, I'm gonna say 1452 because that's when Doom Diversus was written. When they said uh the Catholic say Pope Nicholas say, yeah, go snatch up and grab up all the Saracens and steal from them, vanquish them, and all this and enslave them and go grab them and go do all this and go do all that and do them diverses and all, man, whatever. They had the Moors, okay, whatever. Man, you got to understand, dog. When you dealing with the Moors, man, it ain't gonna be an easy situation. Only way that can happen is if some red apples get involved. That's the only way that can happen. Sometimes red apples get involved. And that's in any type of way of life that you're living. Right? See, we know more science is not a religion. It's a science. It's not like the four Abrahamic faiths that were put here to create division within us. That's why we so divided. That's why they purposely socially engineered us to be divided. After the big bankers came down here and bought the entire school system, burnt all of our books, right? And then rewrote everything. And then they put all of their books in the schools that we were attending. So they giving us trash that they rewrote. Now, reason why I went into that was Canada is talking about turning off the electricity in America. I want to give a shout to Cool Joe and the Canaan Land Moors. I want to give a shout to Asia, Duke of Tears. I want to give a shout to Grand Sheik Sharif Ali Ealet Moors in America, man. You hear me? I want to give a shout to Sheik Amaga Talamasi Eel. I want to give a shout to Sacred Grove, Mohalib Day Bay. I want to give a shout to PNF. I want to give a shout to Dr. Aleem Il Bay. I want to give a shout to man, everybody that has been in this war with us, man, that ain't on no passive trash, that's banging off and telling the truth. Love, peace, freedom, and justice. Now you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. Don't just go on anything. You got to know when to go. Sometimes just let the law handle it. Especially if you know that you're right. If you know that you've been doing right. If you know that you've been right, then give them some holy breath and roll out. That's it. That's what I do. I give them some holy breath and roll out. So this is what Canada talking about. Canada says, let him say it. Let me mute up, y'all. Wait a minute. Let me mute up. See? It's all going down, man. It's all going down.
More electricity, more critical minerals. I want to make Canada and the United States the richest, most successful, most secure two countries on the planet. But as Premier, my number one job is to protect the people of Ontario and in hand protect the people of Canada. I will do whatever it takes. I will fight like I've never fought before to protect Ontario. If the United States escalates, I will not hesitate to shut the electricity off completely. Believe me when I say I do not want to do this. I feel terrible for the American people because it's not the American people who started this trade war. It's one person who's responsible. That's President Trump. I'd rather be working together. I want to sell the U.S. more energy, more electricity, more critical minerals. I want to make Canada and the United States the richest, most successful, safest, most secure two countries on the planet. But as Premier, my number one job is to protect the people of Ontario and in hand protect the people of Canada. I will do whatever it takes. I will fight like I've never fought before to protect Ontario. If the United States escalates, I will not hesitate to shut the electricity off completely. Believe me when I say I do not want to do this. I feel terrible for the American people because it's not the American people who started this trade war. It's one person who's responsible. That's President Trump. I'd rather be working together. I want to sell the U.S. more energy, more electricity, more critical minerals. I want to make Canada and the United States the richest, most successful, safest, most secure two countries on the planet. But as Premier, my number one job is to protect.
Peace, 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 peace. Notice how he keeps saying the U.S. Notice how he keeps saying the U.S. He keeps saying the United States. You know why he's saying that? Because he's talking about the United States corporation. He's talking about the business. He's not actually talking about the country. Right. Right. So yeah. I want to say peace to the brothers down there, man, in Canada, man. All the Moors in Canada, man. I'm a solid, I'm a solid, masculine, divine masculine energy, bro. And I love my people too much, man. And we ain't beefing over no dumb shit. And I mean, you do what you want to do, but yeah, just keep keep him away. Get that, yeah. I don't, we're rap, bro. We're rap. So yeah, man. Canada's talking a whole bunch of trash, man. So prepare. We don't know what's gonna happen, man. All I know is we gonna be good. The Muslims gonna be good. See, you think that what we talking about is trash? Then rock out and do what you do, cause I don't shove nothing down in nobody's mouth. Pause. If you can't critically think this whole thing out, if you can't critically think what we're telling you guys, if you can't do that, then it's probably because it's not you. Probably not you. Because we have high IQs. And if you don't understand something, bro, man, that's because it's not you. Not in your genetic code. Pause, y'all. Wait a minute. Yeah, man. So yeah, that's what's going on, man. You know, the truth is being told. And the truth is being told by Europeans. It's going down now. It's going down. It's going down. Yeah. So let me mute up. Let me share screen. We're gonna move forward now. So now they already admitting that they know now. Well, they already know. They just admitting it now. It's time because you got to understand, man. Truth at some point in time is gonna re-emerge, and then all the people that caused all the chaos, they got to realize that this is called karma. And karma is real, is real. And I ain't talking about the fake phony one that was established in 1948. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the one over here. Yeah. The one over here. Right. Everything's over here, man. Everything, man. So look, let me share the screen real quick. Now y'all done heard Trump already admitted that he knows, and then he keep using words like, I'm going to bring back the golden age. And what? It ain't never been no golden age of the U.S. I'm going to bring back the golden age of the U.S. Bro, it ain't never been no golden age of the U.S. Now, I do know about the golden age of the Moors. I do know about that. You talking about them golden ages? Right. Mm-hmm. You saying it, but you not saying it. You understand? Because he knows that a lot of us have been socially engineered so bad that all most of us want to do is run to Africa. While everybody in Africa runs here. Why you think everybody running to the promised land, man? Why do y'all think everybody is running here? Because this is the real promised land. And they love being around us, bro. You know, they used to pay us tribute just to sit around and talk to us and build with us and learn and, study and, just get that high frequency, high advanced civilization wisdom. They just wanted to hang around. They paid tribute just to be with us, just to hang around us, just to do business with us, just to, yeah. Look at my Facebook profile page. You'll see it. Look at it and read it. Captain Bainbridge paying tribute to the day of Algiers. Gotta give a shout out to my brother Mohalibde Bey, i.e. D Calico, i.e. Shadow Band. Yeah, because we get shadow banned. We do. We get shadow banned. Only reason why we get shadow banned is because we telling the truth. That's all. And we love our people. That's all. We love our people. Now I'm about to go into my ancestral situation. That I love it, man. When you do the footwork yourself, when you put boots on the ground, man, and you start to digging, boy, oh boy, oh boy. I love it, man. I love it. Seriously, man. Now I know why I had, you know, life is fun. It's so funny, man. After you figure things out, after you figure everything out and you know thyself, just be sitting back going, man. All this time. Yeah, it's true. It's real. It is what it is. And man, I love it, man. I love seeing our work. I love seeing Europeans talking about, man, we see all they works. We see they buildings and we see they the entire Baltimore. Shouts to Michelle Gibson. Shouts to Michelle Gibson, man. She put Baltimore in line on the ley lines, man. I've been doing a bunch of digging about Baltimore, man. It's just been it been a bunch of hijack stuff. So I'm trying to get through the hijack stuff. Man, it's all our Moor stuff underneath of it. Yeah, I'm on it though. I'm on it though. Shouts to Michelle Gibson. You know what I mean? She doing it. She did last 2 days ago. Uh, I think from Louisiana to Baltimore. I think. Yeah. It's a ley line. Yeah. It's a natural energy source. Yeah. Natural electromagnetic energy. Yeah. That's dangerous right now. Cause man, y'all gotta watch my part 1 video. I was starting the video off, and as I was getting into it, YouTube or one of the, I don't know who it was, they shut me off. Just shut the whole thing down. Shut it down. In the middle of my presentation, shuts it down. They do it all the time, man. It's so much that like why we I don't even get mad no more. That's just them trying to save face. But you can't save face for something that's destined to happen. You can't save face for something that's destined to happen. It's gonna happen. And you can try to call on your Saturn, your Mercury gods, all these trickery gods and all these baby loving gods and all this, because y'all want power and all this shit. But whatever, it ain't gonna work, dog. It ain't gonna work. Sinister, foulest ass, grafted, bleached ass, whatever the nothing, wild men, the wildlings, whatever. Y'all don't have the IQs enough. Y'all IQ ain't high enough. And y'all ain't even been around long enough to try to tell us something. We was around hundreds of thousands of years before you things even came together. Oh man, truth. All right, so let's shimmy share screen. Boom. Boy, let's get it. Boy, let's get it. Boy, let's get it. Hold up. So it say, oh yeah. So this is www.population prehistory.com. You hear me? Pretty substantial. You already know I read it. You had to make sure it was substantial, right? So it say the Moor Empire. Washataw, my ancient ancestors, right? I'm a Carolinian. So I don't have nothing else to say about that. I mean, hey. And then you got the Mo. Here we go to Mo, the Mohicans. Stop playing, man. Yeah, Washita, Yamasee, Iroquois, Cherokee, I.E. Tsalagi. This is a fake bullshit ass name, okay? It ain't real, all right? the Blackfoot Pequot, and you got the Mo. Whoa, 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 what? Oh, I'm gonna get you. Hold up. Mohican. Mo. Moslem. Muslim. Mohican. Mohawk. Moor. Mo. Linguistics. Learn it. Learn how to read books. Break down books. Mohican. Wampanoag. Mashpee. Right? For the Moors on something. Right. And the Narragansett from RI, part of the Algonquin speaking tribes who are indigenous people of America. What? Yeah. Let's go some more. Let's go some more. I'm gonna leave I'm gonna leave the link in the description box, y'all. This is a lot of information, right? But wait, hold up, man. Make me want to read it. Make me want to read it. Let me find something. You know what? I'm gonna start off some of the read, right? Okay. All right. So in 1923, right, the United Nations. See, whenever you dealing with research, man, you got to go to the United Nations Center for Human Rights. You feel me? You got to go to the archives. You got to go to the we all the big boy paperwork at, man. Don't be worrying about what YouTube is saying and what Google is saying. Who owns Google? Answer that question for me, real quick. Comment below. Who owns Google and who owns Wikipedia? Comment below. So when you're doing this reading off of this device, overstand, we found out that the electromagnetic. I'm going off course just a minute. I just want y'all to understand something. There being electromagnetic waves brought to us, through us, from the monitor, the computer monitor, the television, the cell phone, the laptop, the tablet. Is it a tablet? Yeah, tablet. Yeah. Yeah. Manipulating our nervous system. You hear me? So, do you know what your nervous system is? Comment below. It can control how you think. It can control the rhythm of your heart. So when you start reading this stuff, you got to learn. First of all, you got to know thyself. Proclaim your nationality. And get to work. Activate your Kundalini, man. All right? So look, the National Archives, and man, that's where you got to go, dog. When you researching, don't be researching Google, the first page. If you gonna really, if you gonna research, go to page number 7. Go to page number 15. Yeah, go to them pages. That's where you probably might find something decent. They done flim flammed and blim blammed everything so hard, man. See, my five senses are in line with my soul. So I can read through trash and see it off the muscle. I can watch a movie and watch it and say, what the off the muscle catching. So in 1993, the United States, I'm sorry, I'm pumped, man. My bad, y'all. The United Nations Center for Human Rights recognized the Ouachita, Dugdamania, Moor Empire as the oldest indigenous group of people on Earth. Need I say more? Moors, North Carolina, Louisiana, man, all over the place, man. America was Moorish, man. Everybody walk around with feathers and turbans on, man. Silks, gold, hanging off of everywhere, anywhere. Gold teeth, rubies in them, diamonds, and man, parrots on our arms, rocking silk, fresh, big, strong, healthy, beautiful land. Everything exquisite. Wow, wow, wow. While these Alaskan Malamute Huskies, wannabes, yeah, the ones that walked across the Bering Strait. Where was your ass coming from? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where was your where was your ass coming? Those from crossed over. From where? Where you cross over from? Yeah, exactly. Go back there. I ain't talking about South America. Hell no. I'm talking about Alaska Eskimos. Man. Go ahead, man. I ain't gonna go into it, but I'm just saying. Yeah, man. Always trying to downplay us when we are the gods and goddesses of this planet. 5 noble titles. Do I gotta say them again? What does Bay mean? Do the knowledge of what Bay means. Bay means governor of the land and foot soldiers, enforcers. I got 2 day ones. I got mentors too that at home, right? But you know, do our studies world. I got 2 day ones, bro. I'm noble. I don't play no games about them. They both master teachers, and man, I love both of them. They both good brothers, and I don't care what nobody got to say. If somebody got to say something, then you can say it through me first. One is I said Duke of Tears, man. Showed love off the muscle. I think I had 100 subscribers, and he bam me. I got you more. I got you, Noble. Don't worry about it. Grand Sheikh Sharif Ali ill at Moors in America. Got you, more. Don't worry about it. Got you. So, for them two, day ones, man. You gotta come through the enforcer first, dog. Yeah. You gonna have to come through the enforcer first. Yeah. And we man, look, I don't even want, a lot of stuff I say offline. Yeah, be saying a whole bunch of stuff online. Can't do it. Can't do it, man. Can't do it. Yeah, can't do it. Everything is not made for online to say. A lot of guys like to run their mouth online. It's just too much. It's too much, man. Too much. Too much big lipping. Too much. Learn how to be a little humble. Yeah. Or Allah gonna make you humble. Watch this. He gonna make you humble. If you ain't humble, you gonna learn how to be humble. Watch this. Get your mind right. Right. No more demon time. No more genocide. It's over with. So now you know what's going on and say what? In 1993, the United Nations Center for Human Rights recognized the Ouachita Dug Demonia Moorish Empire as the oldest indigenous group of people on Earth. All right? The registered project. See, we got real paperwork. Indios. Show me something substantial. Show me a nation. They got a flag. I need to see it. What's going on? Yeah. Bunch of paperwork we need to see. Registered project. Hashtag 215/93 issued. Just read this. 12,000 slaves arrived in Americas between the 1540 and 1850 over a 310-year period, according to U.S. history books. U.S. history books. U.S. Just like the Canada dude was just doing. The United States, the business, the corporation, the corporation, the corporation. Let it sink into your head, man, please. See, I feel like my position for real is to scholar to us that kind of grew up in different areas, like in places in the city, man, where the only way you could make it out is to be strong, man. You had to be, man. You had to be, man. Man. I'm ready to start doing this segment on the judicial system also. So I want y'all to pay attention because I'm getting ready to start doing some studying on the judicial system and how rotten and dirty and funky it is. But we're supposed to trust that they protect us, when in all actuality, they are the ones pause, man. If you look at if you look at the following facts of published material, we are living under another ideological part of American revisionist history. Revisionist. Man. Also, the following undermines the whole what? Undermines the whole breath. Undermines the holy breath. I see the holy breath. Okay? What is the holy breath? Circle 7, chapter 1 and 2. Find out what big it goes into chapter 2. The holy breath and depth. Man, it's so many more signs, man. It's just ridiculous, man. It's just so much. And depth of what is written in in American history books. By using simple calculations, the following information can be ascertained. Ascertained. I know what it means. But for y'all, I'm gonna do the knowledge on it real quick. Pause for 1 second. Pause for 1 second. Because we gonna do some we gonna undo some understanding. because some people ain't getting some things, and we need to figure it out. I was doing some deep diving. Ascertain. All right. The definition for ascertain, it says to find out something with certainty or to make something certain. It's a formal word often used when seeking the truth about something. Seeking the truth about something by using simple calculations. The following information can be ascertained. Right. And what does ascertain mean, guys? To find out something with certainty or to make something certain. It's a formal word often used when seeking the truth about something. See, I am the seven. In spirituality, numerology, astrology, astronomy, the seven says always seeking out the truth. 7, 20, 70. Shouts to the Prophet Noble Dry. He transitioned on 7/20, 30, 40, 50. 50 years later, I was born on 7/20. Man, when these things start to come together, you start seeing them. You start feeling the vibration and the frequency of the material that you're reading. Man. So right now the brother's breaking down the whole slave. Oh, he did all the mathematics on it. Right. It's just a lot, man. It's a lot of work, okay? It's all truth. I'm gonna leave the link in the description box because I don't want to be real long because I know a lot of us have short attention spans, right? So let's go to. I'm gonna share screen. I'm gonna leave the link in the description box. Y'all can go ahead and dive all in it, dive all in it, dive all in it, study, 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 study. So what do Moors do? Moors study. That's what we do. A lot of. So now here comes a video, and in this video they are telling everything. They are telling everything. This is a good video. And we got Europeans talking about WASHATAW, Doug the Mound Builders, Islam.
History, legends, a good story, conspiracies, fantasies, all that stuff intrigues me. I just want to jump in and solve the riddle. You know, it's so bad my wife calls me Mr. Adventure with a sarcastic tone in her voice. So imagine, if you will, my excitement when I find out that archaeologists are confirming the existence of an all but lost to history ancient Native American super civilization just down the road from my house. A civilization that not only predates but postdates the Golden Age of Egypt by several thousand years. A civilization that left evidence of its existence on and around monumental earthworks they engineered up and down the valley between the Mississippi and the Ouachita rivers. An all but lost to history, ancient civilization right under our feet? And I find this story in the ruins of a 1930s bridge in Little Jonesville, Louisiana. In July of 2009, federal, state, and local officials converged on Jonesville, Louisiana. The city was buttoned up, and with a series of explosions, the old Black River Bridge was demolished. It was the construction of this bridge in 1930 was the of the great mound of Troyville, which was used as the western approach to that bridge.
Jonesville is the home of Troyville, and Troyville was a site of multiple Indian mounds that were constructed here. Jonesville and Troyville are also located where four rivers come together: the Ouachita, the Tensas, Little River, and the Black River. Of course, back in Indian times, that was your super highways of the day. This is how people traveled. Rather than trying to go through dense cane brakes and forests, they would get on the rivers and travel many, many miles, just like we do with our interstates today. So at the site of Jonesville, we have the multiple triangle around, surrounded by the rivers. The other side had an embankment which was also Indian made. It was approximately 20 feet high, just the levee or embankment. Archaeologists don't know if the embankment was split or it was for the measures. Here we can see it today.
A portion of the enclosure was purchased by Martha and her sisters, is that correct? And that has been preserved almost perfect condition. And then Mayo Car Wash, I think, is over in here somewhere, and you have some headstones and that stretch along the car wash. That's also part of the original enclosure. So when you look at those, the inclusion greatly on the perimeter of the archaeological site.
Portions of mounds are still here, they're visible, and the Indians located at this site because of the four rivers all coming together, just gave them easy transportation. It was huge in volume-wise, although there was a lot of dirt in it. The ground, as everyone refers to, was 180 by 180 at the base, and it was 82, which the tallest Indian mound in the United States was 84 feet tall. So we're just a few feet short of being the tallest Indian mound in all of North America.
This was based on the archaeologists, Smithsonian Walker, that came down and excavated the site, that we obtained as much information that we have on Troyville and the Great Mound because of the fantastic work that he did. And then here's the Great Mound, which was Star's description of the site. And it was an incredible three-tiered mound site. It had a big flat platform mound, the size of the city block that the Catholic Church is on. Then above that, another layer of a smaller platform mound, and then above that, it had a very neat conical mound. Platform mounds. It was extremely unique in architecture.
Archaeologists really don't know who built the mounds, other than they were Indians. There's no record, no written record, no way to actually determine who it was. Although historians, some historians say that Troyville, present-day Jonesville, is the Indian site of Anilco, which is documented in Hernando de Soto's explorations through the southeastern United States. It's also speculated that Hernando de Soto died at Anilco.
Was I got in touch with the Smithsonian Institution, and they sent me a piece of cane matting from the Great Mound. And we were 79 and 780, or what we now call the Woodville culture or the Royal period. This is so magnificent that we've had to introduce a new period of prehistory to accommodate the cultural history of the area.
So there was prehistoric Native American structures known to have existed in North America, at a place called Troyville nonetheless. Thinking, it can't get no better than this. An archaeologist named Joe Saunders walks up to me and says, if you think this is something, come see what I've been working on for the last 10 years. We call it the Ancient Mounds Trail. And after the first day of what became 13 days of shooting across central Louisiana and southwest Mississippi, I realized my wildest dreams had come true. I was standing in the doorway of one of the best kept secrets in North American history with a camera and a microphone.
Troyville sits at the base of a rich, fertile plain bounded by the Mississippi and Ouachita rivers. This plain is crowded by dozens and dozens of Native American mounds and was home to a civilization that lasted about 7,000 years before the Europeans got here.
The first mound site you'll run into as you're heading north from Jonesville is Two Lake. It's a 3-mound site, 3 small mounds that we believe may date to as old as 5,000 years ago. Further north is Rutan, which is a major mound complex containing possibly as many as 7 mounds. The next site would be McGuffey. McGuffey is a 7-mound site, possibly 8, possibly 6. We aren't real sure because we haven't cored all of them. Although extremely modest in size, the Harrison Mound is probably the most picturesque mound on the tour. Pritchard Landing is the most complex set of earthworks on the Mounds Trail. You'll have to take my word for it because nobody's allowed on the property. It has maybe as many as 14 mounds and has an element of the original design of McGuffey and Marksville and Troyville. Landing has been an interesting site for me personally. Radiocarbon dates coming from under the mound, under the base of the mound, and they date to 400 BC to about 600 BC. And will match very closely with the introduction of pottery into this part of the Louisiana. There's another single conical mound fairly close to Booth Landing site called Alexander. It's on the Washata. It has 1 platform mound with historical graves on it. And by the way, very often the mound sites that we visit do have historic graves, and they tend to help preserve these mounds from being dug up. Caney Mounds is another one of the Middle Archaic mounds, almost unique to Louisiana. We have 2 radiocarbon dates from there, and they both come back about the same age as 3,500 BC or 5,500 years ago. Probably the most visited site, and it's visited inadvertently, is Balmoral. And the highway goes right through the center of the site. Poverty Point has captured the imagination of archaeologists and professionals and amateurs. The most elaborate mound is a site called Frenchman's Bend. It has 5 mounds, dinky compared to what we had at Watson Brake. But the architecture in the mounds and under the mounds is very elaborate and complex. Watson Brake is the kingfish of North America and one of the best sites, significant sites in North America and the most significant site in Louisiana. It dates to maybe 3,700 BC to around 2,000 BC. And it is fascinating to many people, including some archaeologists that are making an inference or trying to bring about a connection between the Maya calendar and its origin being in sites like Watson Break or Caney Bayou Mound.
Troyville is now called Jonesville, Louisiana, and it sits at the heart of the valley between the Mississippi and the Ouachita rivers. And as magnificent as it may be, Troyville was merely a suburb of a much greater, much older Native American civilization. A distinctive, educated, skilled, economically based civilization that traded across oceans and continents. A civilization with roots that trace back perhaps beyond the last ice age. A civilization that existed until the 1700s, when the Europeans came to North America and tried to erase it.
The oldest sites we have are only 12 to 14,000 years old. There are some that have been dated to 30,000 years, but if you think people had trouble putting old mountain 5,000 years old, you ought to try to get a Native American to be greater than 12 to 14,000 years.
These mound centers, they show an advanced knowledge of arithmetic, of not actual mathematics, geometry. And sacred number counts, and those are rational thinking.
And it seems to actually have increased that they were moving from place to place, that they could set up these mound groups and ceremonial centers and live around them and fish the rivers and hunt the need to change. Their economy was sufficient. There was no.
There's no doubt they were marvelous soils engineers. I often pick at the highway department as they fail to build a lot of times these successful overpasses with it. You can see how the earth sloughs away all the time. They need to study these Indian mounds if they want to learn how to properly build these overpasses. Because a lot of these mounds are 3,000 and 4,000, 5,000 years old, and they probably haven't had a lot of care, still standing, as they were designed to do. They were monuments, and they were meant to endure time, and by golly, they're doing a pretty good job.
Until about 1990, we thought that the mound building began with the Poverty Point culture up in northeast Louisiana at about 1700 to 1200 BC. And there was hints of earlier mound cultures in Louisiana, in particular at 4 sites, but the evidence supporting the age of these mounds was very nebulous. And they'd get a date of 5,000 years from one mound and then dig in another part and get a date about 900 AD, so they could never confirm these early dates they were getting. And it wasn't until the 90s that we started finding mound sites with adequate evidence to definitively show they were in fact over 5,000 years old.
All the evidence suggested that these were simply nomadic tribes moving across the landscape, taking advantage of the seasonal food. And now we found out that at least 4,500 years ago, these people were building architecture, earthworks out of earth. If it would have been out of stone, like the Mayan ruins or something, we would have discovered long ago how early cultural development took place in the Americas.
All of what we knew about hunter-gatherers was based primarily on groups in Africa or Australia that seemed to be sort of on the edges of their habitat, edges of, the edges of civilization. And so they just really were not a good analog for the kinds of hunter-gatherers we would have had here. Poverty Point stands out as different primarily because of the magnitude of the earthworks for its time periods. Couldn't create earthworks like this, but obviously they did. And then there's the exchange system. We have ton of raw materials, particularly stone, was hundreds of miles away, and some may have come from, 1,000 miles away or more.
The only way to have hauled into Poverty Point the estimated 71 metric tons of foreign material that would have been delivered, it had to have been either barged in or came in by canoe. And the interesting thing about the materials that the Poverty Point people were engaged in acquiring through some means, whether by direct acquisition or trade or something of that sort, are all owned or directly accessible by canoe to the Mississippi River.
A lot of the mound centers have alignments to not just the sun and the moon, but to the stars. But they're not just any stars. They're not necessarily the brightest stars, as you might expect. Predominantly, they're aligned to the stars of the Milky Way. And I would suggest that some of the mound sites are constellations along the Milky Way. The alignments to the sun are to the solstices, the 2 days of the year when the sun rises due east and sets due west. First day of spring, first day of summer. As a matter of fact, here at Marksville, they're doing the same thing at Watson Brake. Watson Brake dates from 3400 to 3000 BC. Marksville dates from about 50 BC to AD 400. So this is 3,000 years later, and they're building a site like Watson Brake, 3,000 years later, using the same technique. All these mound centers are built using the same plan. They're all aligned to the sun and the stars of the Milky Way, and they all use the geometry of the circle, the square, and the triangle. I mean, those are facts on the ground. You can't deny it.
What they would do is put a layer of soil down, and on the sides put maybe 2 to 3 feet of cane, river cane. And then also up top, then there was wood stakes or what we're calling pegs to hold it together. At the base, when they were putting these big layers in, they drove big posts to hold it in place.
And they didn't just pile up dirt. They used different colors of earth, probably with symbolic meaning. And they used clay to cap the earth, because clay hardens and it's fairly impervious to the weather. So they used buttressing. They put platforms around the mounds to keep them from literally melting and pushing out at the bottom, and it's fairly sophisticated engineering. There's a perfect example here at the Marksville site. There's a large circular mound, about 95 meters in diameter, and it has a bright yellow ring of clay, yellow clay. And they had to go several feet below the surface to find this clay. I mean, you had to dig deep for it, so it was purposely done. There are 2 white mounds here at Marksville. They're made out of, again, they had to deliberately excavate for this earth. You don't just find it laying around. You had to go down about 1 foot to find it. There are mounds that are composed almost entirely of dark clay, black clay.
We found blue clay, the blue silt, also the red clay.
They knew the administration of tending to large groups of people. Now that's a special talent to have, not a real government yet, but it is a political system in which they're able to organize people and to not have them at each other's throats all the time and not have a jail here and a jail there.
They really knew so much about their environment in details that we can't imagine today. Their lives were probably a lot quieter and a lot more peaceful than our lives.
It seems archaeologists have only been digging into the prehistoric past of humans in North America for the last 20 years or so in earnest. The Great Depression and a couple of world wars to Troyville. But Dr. Joe Saunders and his colleagues have been piecing together the past and the things they tell me about the history of the Ouachita Valley, of his perception not only of the Americas, but the world.
The first people to arrive in the lower Mississippi Valley and in the Mississippi area got here at the end of the last ice age, about 12,000 years ago. It seems like that mound centers were probably being selected maybe 5,000, 6,000 years ago by groups of people who were no longer really forced to migrate around and look for food.
And one of the reasons mound building was not believed to be possible 5,000 years ago was they didn't have any agriculture, they didn't have any trade, they didn't show any evidence of social stratification or inequality. It just like a horde of people showed up and started building. And all of these were foreign concepts to the traditional way that we explain the past, and it was wrong. The economy was sufficient to overcome all of these requirements. And it wasn't until within the past 10 to 15 years that that perspective has been radically changing.
The prehistory of the Americas in general is not well known. I mean, it's not really taught very much in grade school and high school. You can get a lot of information in college, but on a grade school, high school level, I mean, they mention the Aztecs and the Maya and the Plains Indians like the Sioux and Cheyenne and Custer's Last Stand and things like that, but they don't seem to talk very much about the real ancient history of the Americas.
Because these mounds weren't supposed to exist, because these cultures weren't supposed to exist, because they didn't have pottery, because they didn't have social stratification, because they didn't have agriculture. All these reasons they were not supposed to exist, but guess what? They do exist. And they exist right here in the Ouachita Valley, up into Monroe, Louisiana with Watson Brake, and all the way to the south of Caney Mounds, is about the same age of 5,000 years old. And they occur in the middle of the Ouachita Valley.
There's fairly good evidence that people were here 25,000 years ago. Different cave sites in Alaska and South America. People can accept that the Indians could count at least 10 till 10, but they just can't seem to come to grips with the idea that they were capable of mapping the sky and navigating by the stars. Although Polynesians could do it, why not Native Americans? But people had this preconceived notion that they were all living in teepees and chasing buffaloes, right? So, hey, you can see why they might have a hard time believing that these people could do this, the geometry, you know.
The environment was so diverse and rich that people that were hunting and gathering and focusing on riverine adaptation continued that economy all the way into the end of the woodland period. That would have been from about 8,000 BC to 1100 AD.
I excavated a site in southern Illinois, which I helped excavate. That site dated to very near the end of the last ice age. It was dated 9700 BC. And they found a woman, 7,000, 8,000 years old, I don't remember. And they were identified by Dr. Owsley at the Smithsonian Institute, and she had 6 preform arrowheads. They were in the basic shape of an arrowhead, but they haven't been finished yet. She had them lined up along one side of her body, and a couple of feet away, she had these beautiful flint or stone balls, the source of these points. A lot of times they were traded in that form. They would go to the source of the stone. Instead of carrying a great big old rock of stone around to trade to the next person, they would just work them into a general shape of a point or an arrowhead or a celt or axe or whatever, and trade them on that way. It makes sense. I mean, why carry a great big old hunk of stone when you can carry preform? The earthworks here in South Louisiana and the lower Mississippi Valley date from about 4,500 BC to AD 1700. The last mounds were built by the Natchez Indians.
What is so distinctive about the Ouachita Valley and the Indian mound sites it has is that they range from the earliest to the youngest, and they are all in very good shape. So we have excellent examples of each period of prehistory in a very short distance, in a very short area, and also in a very short period of time. But it does seem that they had the same economic structure, the same fundamental means of supporting themselves, which appears to be fish.
The thing here that we don't see too many competing traditions, if you will, that there's this sameness of creed and belief system that existed for an awfully long time.
The earliest cultural manifestations of any kind of social egalitarianism of special people, elites if you like, all of that are here in the lower Mississippi Valley, at least as far as we know.
That's the secret of this river valley right here. And it's a secret that existed for thousands of years. And that secret simply is that they were living in such a rich and diverse environment that they were able to build mounds, build communities, trade, indulge, all those things that you want to do because they were in such a rich environment. And the resources were there, they were predictable, they were sustainable, and the populations flourished as a result. We have a string of mound groups from Jonesville up to past Columbia, where they have 11 mounds and 6 mounds and 9 mounds, and there's some are very large platform mounds, some are big conical mounds. And these were all built by Native American people. And they did this mound building for thousands of years. And it almost gives you the impression of polities, prehistoric polities that are interacting with one another. And so we're looking at a political system along this valley where these people were coexisting. Think of it as Greek states in a sense. Were they Greek states, little independent polities? Or were they all one culture that just went through the thread of time that linked them one to the next? We don't know. We haven't done enough work to make that judgment, but I think with proper work in the future, we can make a better informed decision about what really went on.
And there's a guy named Chaffee, I think his name is Chaffee, who postulates that all the Native Americans living east of the Rocky Mountains spoke at one time, maybe 10,000, 15,000 years ago, spoke the same language. They started off with the same beliefs, the same mores, the same standards for this and whatever. And how far away did they get as they, came up 6,000 years in time? Some of the peoples were still very similar. Everything was similar about them. They even spoke languages that were mutually intelligible. And even those whose languages had become so unintelligible that they could not speak with another, still had a belief in the Great Spirit. Were there different competing religions at the time? There could have been. But it was more likely there were different competing priests, individuals. But the old substance of what the hereafter was all about and what their spiritual lives were all about probably was intact from 15,000 years ago.
As far back as 7,000 years ago, we believe that the Native American cultures, in Louisiana at least, had developed an economy that was able to sustain a population while they were indulged in building mounds. And this economy, traditionally we thought, was abandoned fairly as soon as possible in the AD range, and shifting to corn, beans, and squash and horticulture. Well, the evidence we have now shows that that's not the fact, that the diet that the early archaic people had is about the same thing that the people up until Spanish contact had. So they shared the same economy for thousands upon thousands of years, and one that is definitely focused and centered on the riverine environments of Louisiana, the Ouachita River.
A trade area where rocks from at least 1,600 kilometers away are being brought in here. Somebody had to tend to that business. It had to be a business, and I think there was probably some status earned from having been entrepreneurial or whatever controlled that business, gave them certain privileges and rights and so forth. So I think we begin to see here at Poverty Point, maybe not permanent for sure, but differences in social groups.
Some of the earliest pottery from Poverty Point came from Florida, the east coast of Florida, Atlantic coast. So there was direct trade in at least ceramics, probably containing something. I doubt if they were just trading pots, they were trading something in these pots. Some researchers found cocaine and tobacco, trace elements of cocaine and tobacco in Egyptian mummies. And it was hot when the first garbage was confirmed now. These people had tobacco, which is a New World crop, and cocaine, which is derived from the coca plant, which is a New World plant. Now, how they got it, I don't know. Most scholars who accept that these elements were there in Egypt, they suggest it came by way of Asia, and it was traded across what became the Silk Road And that's the quickest way. Most scholars can't accept the idea that there was transoceanic trade as far back as, I think it's the 18th dynasty when this stuff was found, 1500 BC approximately. But still, no, that would be just as spectacular to think of as crossing the ocean across the vast stretches of Asia to reach Egypt. I mean, that's almost as hard to believe as transoceanic travel. But the evidence, cocaine, tobacco, and ideas. Now there was these ideas, like I said earlier, the idea of sky, the constellations, and that sort of thing. But those are ideas. So that's not hard data. There was sea travel. There's doubt, like I said. I mean, Australia was colonized by open water sailing 40 to 50,000 years ago, and so there was some way to open water.
The poverty people seem to integrate many of the things we call sciences today. With their geology, which they understood perfectly well, the hydrology, particularly the overflow patterns of the Mississippi River, which built a huge dam down here to the south of the site that ponded a big lake out beside Poverty Point, which perhaps gave them a big foodstuff because the Indians here were eating American lotus, which is a plant that grows around the edges of slack water streams and lakes and things of that nature. They certainly knew the mathematics of the situation, knew about the astronomy, and that probably could have come from simple observation. But the fact that that builds on that through what we call a Fibonacci math system, in which the two digits preceding the next one add up to make the sum of the third digit and so forth. That's built into these earthworks too.
And what's the greater measure of success is a continuation of your culture, of your society. And most of the sites that we see along here in this part of Indiana, in fact, most mountains can boast that. So they were pretty damn good.
Just for a moment, look around the world at other major river valleys, all the notable valleys that are contributing to the success, of early people. Well, I guess what I've argued all along too is what makes this Mississippi Valley any different. We still have this idea that America's, we're the last to be discovered. Guess what? There have been cultures just like this one here, very successful, very early, and one's got to owe that to the lush setting that this valley offered them, and they thrived in it, just like you would in the Nile or the Euphrates or anywhere else. It's just that again we have this new world mindset.
And some believe that actually the origin of the complex societies and cultures in the New World comes to the Ouachita Valley, the sites of Watson Brain, McGuffey, and Rooten. Using the term ceremonial was sort of frowned upon because it was always, if it was something unusual occurring, we would say it was ceremonial. Well, mounds are something unusual occurring, so maybe they're ceremonial. One of the things I can tell you some facts about them. And the number one fact is they are not all burial mounds, and they are not all the same shape. And not all mounds that are conical shaped have burials, because most of them don't have. In fact, most mounds do not have burials in them. Some people like to turn to the stars, the planets, as possibly observatories to understand the star sky, and maybe that's true too.
And the thing that seems to compel them staying together is religion, and is their belief in the spiritualism, because there's so much of that kind of thing that's embodied in the earthworks that they built here. The important solar and lunar day counts, for example, are built into the earthworks, but they're adhering to some common design that they got from somewhere, and I think it may have come from way back when. If you look at the legends and the traditional American peoples that lived in the lower Mississippi Valley in historic times, talk about, there are legends. Read their Legends of the Great Flood. If you plug all that stuff together and look at the earthwork layout at Poverty Point, you'll notice that the rings here, and there are 6 rings at Poverty Point, each one inside the other, but the opening is to the east. The east in all the Indian mythology that we know about was the benevolent direction. It's the place where the sun rises. It's the important horizon. So they did not keep themselves set off from the sun by building rings to set themselves off. They had an open vista to that side. The other opposite side of the rings is there's a big bird mound that sits on that side, 70 feet high, at least now, probably many, many feet higher than that when it was newly built. Very large. That's the direction of death and sickness. So what better mechanism for protecting people from death and sickness is to have your bird mound, which was probably one of their primary deities or representation of that, to protect you from the west. So there's a lot of this kind of mythology built into the rings at Poverty Point. The other thing that leads me to think that Poverty Point had a spiritual connection is first man and first woman emerged from the earth through a cave, came out through the cave, entered into the earth on top of a mound where they laid about and dried out. The Great Spirit made them dry out. Then they went to their separate directions. That mound was called the navel of the earth. The navel of the earth in this location is at Lord Jackson Mound. And the number of solar units from that Lord Jackson Mound to the earthworks here at Poverty Point corresponds to various multiples or divisions of the solar day, 365 days. So that mound looks like it anchored the earthworks that were constructed at the Poverty Point site. And if you look at the earthworks themselves, built into the earthworks are these dimensions of these multiple units. The unit we're talking about is 1.6 meters. It's the standard unit. That was their yardstick. That is the length from the chest to the tip of your hand here, 1.6 meters. They were watching the heavens and probably drawing their spiritualism and whatever from the passage of the orbs, the stars, the sun, and so forth, along an open vista, along a horizon, so that the medicine man, the shaman, or the priest could sit up here and watch when the sun got as far south as it would go, as far north it was to go, and he'd count the days in between. And this becomes an important dimension to then build in your earthworks because you're representing the passage of the sun along the horizon. At least this is a theory that's been expounded by a couple of people who've worked here with Poverty Point materials.
When I think about Poverty Point, I just am amazed by the variation and the elaborateness of it all, and just to try to understand why here at Poverty Point, why does it look the way that it does? Why did people, well, you know, we never can know really people's intentions, but why did it work? You know, that's a lot of energy that's put into building mounds and to making fancy artifacts.
But I think the data would support the hypothesis that they were done because it sanctified these areas by using those sacred.
Pause. Duffalo. It's because we are more scientists. That's why. It's because we have very high IQs. Because we are magi, sheiks, grand sheiks. This is what we do. We study, we learn, we read. We are the Canaanites. This is the Moorish Empire. We are Moab. Now, Read your books, The Golden Age of the Moors. Okay? Start with that one. Okay? And then go to Time Walker by Meredith Quinn. And then you'll start learning who you really are, who we really are. Because the most important thing is know thyself. Because when you know thyself, you know who everybody else is. My ancestry. I am a Carolinian, and I know my great. Man, listen. I'm half a century old, okay? I knew who my great grandmother was. I know how she looked. I know what she talked about. Whole 9 yards. Okay? Then my grandfather. Same thing. Carolinas. My pop. Same thing. Not too far from the ley line. Philly. East Coast. Yeah, I'm gonna give a shout to Michelle Gibson. She did a video the other day about the ley lines in Baltimore and sitting on the ley lines from Louisiana to Baltimore. Yeah, I'm gonna give a shout to. See, we got Europeans telling our story. That's why I'm doing this video. So y'all understand that we got Europeans doing our video, telling our truth, telling our story. Okay? Understand that. Pause. Muting back up. Y'all go on here and listen to this, man. It's important. Please listen to this. This is important. Only reason why I'm playing the whole video for real, because I want y'all to see that all these people that are supposed to know this and know that they know what's going on. They know what's going on, but they can't run their mouth. They scared to say, "Oh my goodness, all this belongs to the so-called African Americans in America." That's what it is. We already know that, baby. You just need to shut the hell up and don't tell nobody. That's really it. It is. But see, you gotta understand, man. When you're dealing with the spirit world, man, you can't stop it. You got Aries banging out right now. You can't stop it. You can't stop it. The higher self, the Allah, the Kundalini. You can't stop it. Pause. Going back to mute up.
Number sacred counts, sacred directions, and the sacred cycles of the sun, moon, and stars. It sanctified them and made them holy. A similar thing took place in Gothic cathedrals. Gothic cathedrals are oriented to the cross. The floor plan of all great Gothic cathedrals have a cross at the center. They were built around the cross. They usually incorporate an important direction, if not sacred. And these are entrances that open to the east, because that open to the east, because that's the direction Christ is supposed to return from the last time. And they involve ceremonies and rituals where people had music and hymns and
here they go. Here they go. Here they go. Sliding themselves into our stuff. It is red apples. Yeah. They slid in real quick. Got with some red apples, and I mean, yeah, here we go. Here we go. Wanna be us, wanna be us, wanna be us, wanna be us. You are not an aboriginal. You are not an original. You are not an Atachtan. You are not a Moor. You are not indigenous. You are not. Stop it. Caucasus Mountains. That's your home. Stop it. I mean, enough is enough. Why you think you burning everything down and exposing all these demons, man? Why do you think you're doing it? Everybody not, though. They can't find Denzel, can't find Oprah, they can't find no damn. They all ran off, dog. They all ran off, man. They all shaking in their boots right now, man. All of them. So yeah, man, peace, man. Look, let me get back to the video, man. Nutsos, boy, blood drinkers, baby eaters, and oh god. Okay, man. So let me go back to the video, y'all. Peace, man.
They dressed up in costumes called vestments that the priests wore, and they had big feasts. They called feast days the times that these people gathered at cathedrals. So you're seeing the same idea expressed in 12th century Europe in the great cathedrals. In a sense, in that sense,
They are not cathedrals. They are Moorish temples, bro. These are Moorish. All you gotta do, what they talking about? WASHATAW, right? And then what they talking about? WASHATAW, right? And they talking about WASHATAW, right? They talking about the WASHATAW dug the mound builders. That's what they're talking about, bro. What is they talking about with this Catholic and this? What? Shut up. Y'all built all y'all stuff on top of our stuff. Marquis 777. Peace, Moor. Happy Holy Moor's Day to you, God. I see them sevens. I see them sevens. Ooh. Them sevens, they hot. I got them all in my birthday, my DOB, brother. Got them all in my DOB. Shouts to you, brother. Thumb up. Look, y'all, please thumb up the video. Please, man, subscribe to the channel, man, and send it out to just at least one person, bro. We are coming up. Y'all see when I showed y'all in the beginning with the boy Trump. Do I got to show that again? When this go off, I'll show it again, right? Where Trump is admitting, he admitted, he said the African Americans built and owned everything in America, But see, it's like half and half. He's like, we ain't did shit. I mean, the only thing about y'all did was whatever the hell we told y'all to do. Read book, White Cargo. Go to the Internet Archive, type in White Cargo. You're going to see the book, and you can either read it or plug up the earphones and it'll read to you. Hit me up, comment below if you get that book and read it, man. Yes. Glad you came by, More. Peace. They just talking about our ancestors, man. That's all he's talking about. WASHATAW. Dug them out, your mound builders, bro. It's all owned by some Slavics, man. Slavics own all of it, man. And they got like a trespassing zone. If you go past a certain spot, boy, you can get locked up if you go in. What? They done took over our, man, yo, bro, we gotta get our land back, man. Because it wasn't do nothing but thievery. We gotta get our land back, man. Straight up. All right, I'm gonna mute up, y'all. Let's go back to the video, y'all. My bad, y'all. But when I hear them saying so much silly nonsense crap, sometimes it's hard for me to pause. But yeah, so let me get back, y'all. Peace.
these earthworks here in the Lower Mississippi Valley are Native American cathedrals, in that sense that they share the same symbolism and meaning, you know. One of the most widespread beliefs in the Americas, this is well documented, tribe after tribe, was that the cosmos of the universe was composed of 3 levels.
Peace. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I wasn't going for that crap he just said, man. What? Oh, man. Marquis 777 says, thanks for sharing this, brother, this truth, brother. Bro, let me tell you. If I can reach one person, I am good with that. Islam to you, noble. Man, I'm sending out love, holy zeal, and purity to you and your family and your tribe, your clan. Marquis 777. Man, all them sevens, man. Make me feel a little jealous, but nah, bro. Yeah, that's the telepathy. That's us. See how you see me. See that's telepathy we got that we got, bro. We operate off our higher self. We got the 7 connection, always seeking out the truth, divine connection to the spirit realm. The 7, yeah, did the knowledge already. 2 videos done. Shouts to Grand Sheikh Sharif Ali Ill at Moors in America. Love you, bro. Look, let me go ahead and rock back out again. They keep trying to, they lying, man. You know, they lying. All right, it's all Muslim. It's all Moor science. The father of all sciences. Like I said early, Moor science is not a religion. Moor science is a science. It's a science. It's the father of all sciences that we created. We created natural electromagnetic energy. As long as you was on the ley lines, you was good. All you needed was the battery. Got your coils up top, you good. Marquis 777, much love and much respect, brother. Back at you, brother. Much love, much peace, much respect, all that. Enough respect. Shaquan. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Gratitude. Yeah. Brother, yeah. Brother on the right frequency. Let's rock out. Listen to this, brother. They talking about our ancestral land, man. And some Slavs they got their hands on it, man. And they trying to tell us about it. But how do you know? How do you know? You're an immigrant. You're not even from here. So how are you talking about? Oh, we carbon dated, copied it to 12. Man, shut up. Y'all already proved that y'all lie all the damn time and don't want to tell the truth because y'all scared that y'all gonna lose y'all power because y'all can't just use your natural abilities to conceive that. You don't have the ingredients that we have, the blood that we have, the souls, the spirits that we have, man. Y'all don't have that. The you melanin, y'all do not have that. Well, some of the bleach you melons, they do. They do. You know what I'm saying? They just nuts. So who the hell would want to bleach themselves, bro? I don't understand. Retarded to me. Sinister, foulest type shit to me, bro. So let me mute up, man. I ain't gonna mute up no more, bro. I promise. It's just I get tired of hearing these fools talking all this stupidness. So let me go back in. Hold up.
There was an upper level, which we would probably equate with heaven. There was this level, this world, and there was an underworld. which we would equate with Hades or hell. It's just a rough analogy, but now what's less well known but equally well documented is that these three worlds were believed to be linked by the Milky Way was a vast river or path that linked the upper world, this world, and the underworld. And I think that's why they're
Bro, how dare you, man? How dare you to have the nerve to say that we dealt with some demon shit? See, all they want to do is paint us as being, well, you just had the Catholic priest up there, right? But now you saying that some demon evil shit. Bro, go ahead, man. We are God bodies, man. We are revealers of light. We are the Canaanites, man. This is not a game. We love truth, peace, freedom, and justice, man. This is what we do. And I ain't gonna say too much, dog. I ain't gonna say too much, man. We meet back up. I'm sorry, y'all. But when he said that, evil, man, we don't do none of that, man. Only people do that is y'all. Y'all the only ones that drink blood. Y'all the only ones that eat babies. Y'all the only ones that do all the dirty, funky ass shit y'all do. Y'all the only ones that we don't never do none of that type of stuff, man. Huh? Your shoe? Oh yeah. You got your shoe? Yeah. My fault, y'all. My 3-year-old just woke up. My 3-year-old just woke up. Amaru. That's his name. Amaru Mangibe. Yeah. All right, let me mute up, y'all. Peace.
doing rituals and ceremonies to travel spiritually, if you like, or they're sending their dead along the Milky Way to the underworld, or up the Milky Way to the upper world from this world. There were portals, in a sense, doorways to other dimensions.
I have discovered that there's evidence that the Native Americans of the Ouachita Valley shared common cultural characteristics with all the other great ancient civilizations of Earth. The natives here could be the link in the developmental chain of humanity between the Egyptians and the Greeks and the Mayans who followed them and the Asians who preceded them.
And I have to believe that because 3,500 or maybe 6,000 years ago, the number of languages that were being spoken in this area were relatively few, that there might have been a lot of sharing of ideas simply because there was a mother tongue. You know, you learn the story of Adam and Eve from generations way back when. So even though you become dispersed at 3,500 years ago and no longer living close to those other people, you've got the story of Adam and Eve, and they've got the story of Adam and Eve because it came from a long time previous to that. The reason they appear to be alike is because of their inheritance from the earlier culture. Now that brings up another point. Writing system, and just as sophisticated, is a system of the transmission of oral information, particularly the traditions. Tradition keepers in each society usually have shamans or apprentices who will apprentice to them, and they have to learn verbatim the old tribal stories. They cannot be years and years, centuries and centuries, so that the young teller of an old tribal story, you could go back and compare it with, his his mentor from generations ago.
Ha 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 ha. Funny. The same thing y'all doing now, lying. Y'all telling some of the truth, and y'all ain't showed not one real picture. Y'all ain't showed not one real picture. Y'all got everybody thinking that the gualas from Alaska, got them thinking that they are the people that sprung from the land. No, they are not the people that sprung from the land, bro. Wrong people. Trump said it. I did it. I said it in the beginning of my video. I showed it on Instagram where Trump literally said it. Okay, pause. I'm crossing my feet today, bro, because I'm off work today. So, man, I don't know. We're gonna be here until I get tired. Simple as that. And I'm strong, so we're gonna learn today. I'm gonna go back to that. If somebody came in late, maybe I'll show Marquis 777 if the brother's still around. Because men, Muslims, we got real family grown man duty. All of us are solid. All of us, most of us are solid. 92%, 90, 97 of us, 90% of us are solid. Straight up. Straight up. Straight up. Straight up. Check this out.
You built this nation. You're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to you built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it. Bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right? African Americans built this nation. You built this nation. You're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to you built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it. Bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right? African Americans built this nation. You built this nation.
Marquis 777. Oh, you still here, brother? Okay, my brother, peace and love, but he's still here, my man. Did you hear that, bro? Did you hear that, bro? Give me a one if you heard it, Marquis 777. Did you hear what Trump just said? Did you hear what Trump just said? He said the African American nation built everything. My man got a one. My man. Alhamdulillah. There was a reason for it. See, man, listen, man, when you are connected like Marquis, like Marquis 77 is, 777, and me, man, when you connected to the higher self, man, telepathy, we gonna be on the right, we gonna be on the same frequency. Telepathy. It's real. Trust me, it's real. Yeah. Master teacher, man, he'll throw something out, won't even tell me. Next thing I know, boom, I'll be doing the same topic like a day, 2 days late, don't even know. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, your boy Trump is banging, but Trump, okay, this just a sheik, you know what I mean, a revealer of light, you know, a general. I be's the general, the seven, the sultan with all the sway on the Chesapeake Bay. Marquis 777 said, it's definitely real. Exactly. Bars, bro. Bars. So yeah, man, I be's the seven. You know, the sultan with all the sway on the Chesapeake Bay. You already know you can't get no monikers like that, man, y'all. Unless the big dog and just the big gods tell you what's going on. You know what I mean? Stuff a lot. Because I'm trying to get out of that Baltimore talk. You know what I mean? Get into some real scholarship and talking. You know what I mean? Stop saying dog so much. And, man, you know, social engineering, man. That's all it is. Years of us just, you know, what's that? My son, man, he just woke up, 3 years old, man. Beautiful, man. This is a blessing for me, man, to be over 50. I got a 3-year-old, buddy. Now you know my brothers and everybody be joking me, right? I got 11 brothers and sisters and they children, right? I ain't been changing the subject, but look, this is important. Like, so it's just deep, man. And I'm the oldest of all 12 of us, and my dad is a Moor too, right? And my grandfather is a Moor too, or was a Moor too. He transitioned, but my dad didn't meet him. Man, I'm gonna give y'all a quick story. I want some truth real quick. First of all, let me get drunk off the screen for a minute. Real quick. Give y'all some truth real quick. All right, look. My dad, Dr. Paris McGee Bates Sr., he don't like when I talk about him on social media because he don't like social media and he don't trust social media. And I respect him and I overstand him. You know, but every once in a while, I don't mean to be disrespectful, Pop, but I just want to make this point real quick. So, you know, I have a lot of people that I have to take care of, man. I'm the general. My mom and my dad is the matriarch and patriarch, but then I come right under them. I come right under them. Okay, son. Okay, son. Wait a minute. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Wait a minute. Let me get my son. All right, Islam family, I'm back. Yeah, just trying to take care of my son, so he don't, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, my dad, he don't really like social media and all that stuff. But look, check this out. So, when my dad never knew his dad, right? He never knew his dad. Um, he was given his stepdad, the second child, he was given his dad's last name. But like we didn't find my dad. I'm the oldest of all 12 of us, so my dad always keep me close. I know things that my other brothers and sisters don't know. And with my dad, he's so solid, man. My dad, boy, I'm trying to tell you something solid. 75 years old, man, still out back, planting banana trees and everything, man. Yeah, but my dad's solid. But look, so what happened was my dad was carrying another man's name. And all through his life, he didn't find out that that was until he was about 30. So by that time, he had already had one bachelor's degree with his name on it. So he just was like, man, we just gonna rock out. The difference between us is slash Bay. All 12 of us are McGee Bay. But my dad met his real dad when my dad was 50 years old. Now he's 75. My dad met his dad for the first time when he was 50 years old, man. His last name was Raymond. See, you see what I'm saying? That's why sometimes, man, these surnames, this is my opinion. These surnames, you might want to take it a little easy on them surnames because none of us really know what grandma did or what grandma, man, I'm talking about grandma 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 1,000 years ago. We don't know what grandma did. We don't know what grandma did. She might have been 17, 18 years old, run across, some young dude you don't even know where you from. Let them, they do them because, everybody, it is what it is. That's how Allah made us so we can be procreators. But they need to stop the fornicating. That's what you guys say. If you're gonna be with somebody and marry them, and then you ain't gotta worry about the lashes for sexing out and not being married. That's very important, guys. Revealers of light, very important. So the point that I'm making is this. You really gotta watch the last name because you never know. That last name, Monkey 777 says that's a blessing, a major blessing. Over 50 with a 3-year. Oh, bro, thank you, man. Speaks volume about your purpose here on earth, bro. Yeah, bro. Facts, facts, bro. And guess what? I'm doing it too. I know I'm on my spiritual awakening, bro. I come out the womb with knowledge of self, but I'm the oldest child, so I was the one that had to get beat in the head. Don't do it. Don't do it like don't do it. Even though my dad was giving me knowledge of stuff, when you young, man, you hanging around your homies and stuff, you might get caught up in some trash. Well, okay, a little bit of that, but we all mature and we all grow up. So what you did at 20, you should not be doing it at 40 or 50. If you are, you're crazy. You got to be stone cold bananas, straight up. So yeah, man. Marquis 777. Peace to you, love to you, and brother. Gratitude, and my wife been saying it. Everybody around me saying it. Like, man, I had a little issue. Me and my nephew had some back and forth. It wasn't really nothing heavy, right? So my nephew called me back about I had to do something tough that hurt me. I had to stay away until he was right. Because I know I stay on the Surat al Mustaqim, the straight and narrow path. I know this. I know that I'm on my higher self. I know this. So when you know, you don't care what people think. As long as Allah know what I do, because He's keeping the book of remembrance. All your thoughts, all your deeds, everything you're doing, it's all being cataloged. So you can try to be sneaky and try to be, all listen to me, whatever, dog. You're gonna get caught. Okay? You're gonna get caught. Because one day you're gonna have that judgment day. And Allah gonna ask you what you've been doing all this time. You oh, hold up, let me go turn around. What you been doing? You boy, you ain't coming this way. Bye, this way leads to infinity. Where you going is finite. You die out, buddy. Or you died on your lower self. Flat out. That's what it is, man. So love, honor, and respect to you, Marquis 777. I'm glad you felt that, bro, because that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true, bro. Yeah. I feel it too, brother. I feel it too, man. I got this extra energy. I got this extra drive. I got, in our circle 7, it says every soldier should have a foe because a foe makes you stronger. Have that foe. Because that foe, those issues, those problems that you're working out, all they're gonna do is make you stronger. All they're gonna do is make you smarter. All they're gonna do is you're gonna be so solid, you're gonna be like a Superman. You gotta get your knowledge of self, you gotta activate your 7 chakras, you gotta get your kundalini, from your pineal and your third gland. And bro, now you guard body. Let's go. That's what's going on. I mean, yeah. And I love it, man. It's in my bones. I can't even control it. I can't control it, man. It's in my bones, bro. Man, so let me get back to the video, man. All right, y'all. Peace.
Ago, and it's exactly the same.
Take agriculture, for instance. Agriculture shows up here in the southeast, approximately 81,000. It's late because the environment is so rich here in the lower Mississippi Valley that they didn't really need agriculture. So, but when it shows up fully developed. I mean, these people are not experimenting with how to grow corn, squash, and such. They know how to grow it. And the only reason that they know how is because the knowledge of how to plant and when to plant especially was transmitted by myth. There was the story of the corn goddess and this kind of stuff and how she only did certain things at certain times of the year, and it was transmitted by myth. So they used myth to do agriculture, learn how to do agriculture. It also explains rather handily why there are flood stories all over the world. In all cultures, you find stories of a great flood. And usually a man and his wife or his family takes the animals into an ark or some kind of vessel and survives. And the stories are very similar worldwide because they all are recalling an era when the ice melted, the seas rose and flooded large areas of the coastlines. 2 researchers have found evidence that the Black Sea was a freshwater lake, and that's somewhere near the end of the last ice age, approximately 7,000 years ago, the Mediterranean breached that lake and flooded the Black Sea and made it a saltwater sea, and that settlements were located around that freshwater lake before it was inundated by the waters of the Mediterranean. And it's been suggested that that may be the origin of the flood story of Noah's flood in the Bible.
For thousands of years, most people have believed that the oldest, longest-lasting civilization on Earth belonged to the ancient Egyptians. But the ancient Egyptians, and every other great ancient culture known to have existed on this planet, has revered an older, greater civilization, one that was lost long ago to the sea. In Western literature, they call this place Atlantis.
Atlantis is a place at the end of the last ice age. It was destroyed by a flood, a great flood. It went down under the ocean, and that's where the tie-in was, the link to the larger myth of Noah and the flood and all the flood myths around the world. So that's how it ties in. It was flooded and went under. And the basic message of the story is don't get too greedy. And because that's what supposedly destroyed them, their lust for power and wealth. In the beginning, they were a noble people, a wise people, and that's why they were destroyed. Lust for power and greed, for money or wealth. It's a morality tale, essentially.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all, hey, Marquis 777? Did you hear that, bro? Did you hear what he just said? Did you hear what he just said? Did you hear what he just said? Let's run.
For thousands of years, most people have believed that the oldest, longest-lasting civilization on Earth belonged to the ancient Egyptians. But the ancient Egyptians, and
This goes back to how do you compel
Be seen, appreciated from the air. Same thing with poverty point. Can only be seen from the air. They're shown from the gods. The gods. Almost worlds at the end of the last ice age. It was destroyed by a flood, a great flood. It went down under the ocean, and that's where the tie-in was, the link to the larger myth of Noah and the flood and all the flood myths around the world. So that's how it ties in. It was flooded and went under. And the basic message of the story is don't get too greedy. And because that's what supposedly destroyed them, their lust for power and wealth. In the beginning, they were a noble people, a wise people, and that's why they were destroyed.
In the beginning, they were a noble people. In the beginning, they were a noble people. So, what do we know, Marquis 777? Noble is the secret word for more. Just like on did y'all see the movie Dune? Remember the nasty AI, half human, colonizer? He come walking off the spaceship with a femur bone and gets to asking people, is this your land? Is it, boy, y'all looking real good around here. But the whole time he plotting on their land. Because they growing spices and they steal spices. And they didn't figure out how to, create, they levitating and everything, boy, just because of the spice. Check out Dune, y'all. Check out Dune. It's deep. It's deep. But the dirt bag of the movie, his name was Captain Noble. See? See how they flipped everything? See how they flipped everything? Now they're trying to put Noble on this movie, trying to put Noble on the dirty people. But they be doing so much flipping and flopping and shipping and shopping and cutting and pasting and then the more we do what we do. We study, we rap, we figure it out. We got high IQs. Marquis 77 says, great story. Yo, you about to make my eyes watery, bro. Stop, man. Yeah, bro, but I be needing to hear that, man, because I work so hard, man, to just get us to overstand some things, man. And then this is about my people, man. You know, it would be beautiful to cash ass and all that, but bro, I don't really care about that, man. I'm a contractor. I'm gonna figure it out anyway. You know what I mean? 'Cause I know so much at working because of the kind of stuff that I've done. So much stuff that, man, ain't no big deal. I'll whip you stuff like that, man. Yeah. So let me read what brother said. He said, "Great story, brother. Thanks for sharing. I'm on my spiritual awakening myself. Brother, have you read the book titled The Old World Tartarians, the greatest civilization ever to be erased from history?" Brother, I know that book from front cover to back. Bro, take the T's out, put B's in there. Now what you got? Barbary. Talk about the Berbers, bro. In the beginning of what they talk about, bro. How we had natural electromagnetic energy. Yeah. We started all that. And then you get to like maybe the second or third page, boy. Then they start really telling the truth. Then, boy, they started talking about, yeah, we rewrote history and we did this and we did that. And, you know, the Illuminati, the 12 Illuminati families and the Ashkenazis got, you know, they getting, they was appointed to collect all the money from them, for them, for the other families. So this book deep, bro, but you got to read it with a grain of salt. You got to be able to read it right because some of it is off a little bit. But Marquis 777, yes, bro, that book is serious. A lot of people don't know about that. The greatest civilization ever to be erased from history. Pause. Think about it. I'm here just to make you think. Yeah. Then you gonna think. Oh man, yes indeed. Okay, Marquis, he said yes, yes. He said yes, I did. Marquis 777. He gonna say, oh man, oh man, you. I said yes, indeed. I'm just now starting to dig deep into our history, so I really appreciate your work. Thank you very much, bro. Tap in, bro. We doing it, bro. The solid holy seven, bro. Shouts to the master teacher. I see it Duke of Tears. Shouts to the other master teacher, Grand Sheikh Sharif Ali, Ill Moors Americans. Shouts to the other master teacher, Sheikh Amaka Telemasi Ill. Shouts to the Sacred Grove master teacher, Mohalib Day Bay master teacher, PNF master teacher, Dr. Lee Mill Bay master teacher, and all of the Moors that's out here banging and telling the truth and putting down the truth in love and peace. And yeah, that's the only way we're going to move up, only way we're going to ascend. You hear me? I was blessed to be, I was blessed to come out the womb with knowledge of self. Now, to some people, well, everybody knows I'm a sheep, but some people think that I'm a master teacher too. But I don't want to take that title just yet. No, I don't want that. I don't want that just yet. Cause me and the Sid the same. I Sid can have that. That's his thing. Cause he's super sharp, super genius, super good dude, super I ride for. I always hope all is well with him, man. He got a pure heart, man, and yeah, he type of dude, man. When he ain't gonna deal with you at all if you ain't got no pure heart, and he gonna test you. He gonna test you. See, he gonna do the homework on you and everything. Same thing I do, cause if you're building a chain, a solid chain, all you gotta have is one bad link, and the chain will pop. Well, we not having it. No weak links in the chain, dog. Everybody got to be standing on their square. Yeah, you got to be on your square, man. Ain't no ego stuff. And I'm the best. I'm the best. All that. No, man. Humbleness. You don't know everything. You don't know everything, man. None of us know everything. None of us, man. So stay on your higher self and study more, study more, study more. And after you done finish studying, guess what? Study some more, study some more, read some more. So yeah, Marquis 777. I got about 5 mentees, bro. I'll pull you in, bro. Come on in. Hit me at Paris the Moor at gmail.com, bro. And we can sit down and build, bro. Seriously. I'm all about helping my people, bro. One of my channels is called the Business Channel. And that channel is just to show people how to do certain jobs and also how to fill out your paperwork to start your own company. And it's for free. I'm not charging nobody nothing. I'm not charging for my people to elevate unless I really, really have to. I don't really have to. I'm a contractor. I'll go out there and get it in sweat just to send some love and some holy zeal to our nation. Let me finish this video. Let me finish this video. We're going in for a minute, man. Let's talk. Let's talk. And today, man, I be so busy all the time. Y'all know that. I be so busy all the time, man. I got a little time to chill. Sometimes Allah will make you sit down just so you can chill and rest and study and read and build and work out and you know, get your mind right, get your body right, eat the right things, take the right vitamins, the right minerals, drink more you know, I would say stick to some all natural fruits and vegetables and get into that. You got to eat right too, because the only way you can hear the still voice of Allah is you have to be clean. If you got a whole bunch of shit in you, alcohol, perks and all the other fentanyl, and you got this stuff in your butt, you ain't gonna hear nothing. You ain't gonna hear nothing. Nothing. I hears Allah a lot. I'm trying to tell you, man. I hears him. And gratitude to Allah for giving me the intuition, the heightened awareness, the intuition that I have, man. It has gotten me through all these years living in the hood. Straight up. So let me go back to this. I am gonna try my best, man. Because when they get the lion, man, it's hard sometimes. But let me finish the video, bro. Here we go.
Lust for power and greed, for money or wealth. It's a morality tale, essentially. And he used that as a setting or a device to tell this story.
And I think this goes back to how do you compel people to work on something that they can't get tangible good from, they can't get a tangible meal from. It has to be spiritual qualities. It has to come out of their belief in a great spirit, I think.
Well, a lot of these sites, especially Poverty Point, there's no doubt that it was meant to be seen from the air. It wasn't recognized until 1953 how large the site actually was when James Ford found it on an aerial. He saw it on an aerial and he said, wow, this is really Poverty Point, not these few mounds we've been seeing. So it was meant to be seen from the air. Like the Nazca lines in Peru, the famous Nazca lines. not so much the lines, but the geometric figures of whales and monkeys and spiders, large figures that could only be seen, appreciated from the air. Same thing with Poverty Point. Can only be seen from the air. They're shown from the gods. The gods, almost worldwide, gods are live in the sky. That's heaven. The gods that live in heaven. And even today, Christian theology is God is up in heaven. They ask people, the average Christian way is heaven. And it's like this way, right?
Peace. No. The vault of heaven is in your head. The vault of heaven is in your head, next to your pineal. Okay? For real. I'm staying clean. I've been battling addiction for years. I will remain clean by the power of it. Yes, you will. Yes, you will, God body. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. I'm meditating and I'm praying on that. And I'm sending love, holy zeal, and purity through the ethers for you, Marquis 777. That you get through that, brother. Cause it's so nasty out here now, man. Man, I got wristbands from my wrists. Those little plastic bands they give the people after their Christian funerals. So I got bands from my wrist up to my elbow. All overdoses since Moment 91. Since Moment 91. Man, I done lost so many people, man. That was the plan. To reset. Do the knowledge on what a reset is. And tap, man, Marquise, man. And we gonna get you right, brother. 777. We gonna get you right, brother. Just stay focused, man. Don't let nobody entice you. First of all, brother, right now, playtime, right now, you gonna get hurt right now. Don't be out there playing, man. Everything is serious, man. It's very serious right now, man. It's a lot going on, brother. We don't know which way it's coming from, but it don't matter because as long as you put your 90 days away or up, or put some food away or something, or can get to some people that can feed you for 90 days, then focus on that and focus on studying and focus on knowing thyself and Allah. Focus on that. Okay? Don't focus on no negative nothing. Okay? And talk what you think. I'm sorry, talk what you want. Talk what what you're striving for. Talk that. And don't never say the word try. Muslims don't try nothing. We do. We do it. We don't try. We do it. Yeah. So I just had to get some holy breath to the brother, y'all. I'm sorry, man. Y'all know me. Stuff like that, bro. I run to help people, man. I run to assist people. Everybody that know me will tell you, man. Been like this my whole life. Peace. Look, this is almost done, y'all. Cross your legs. What y'all got? Y'all got something to do? Don't go.
I mean, it's pretty common. All the planets named, the gods are in the sky: Saturn, Mars, Jupiter, Venus, and Now in the case of the astronomy and the Milky Way and the myths and stories and this, it's too particular to be just the result of we all have the same brain, so we think the same way. It's too particular. It's around the world, in Western Europe and the alignments, and it's simply too particular to be a result of a common human heritage.
In terms of to what end were these mountains built? I think the end may be in the beginning. The end may be in the being. The end may be in its simply being there on the ground. It was something that a group of people did. They raised a mound for whatever purpose they did, whatever compelled them to work on it, but it is them. It represents them on the ground. So in the sense of having some goal out there for them to try to be striving for or whatever, I'm not exactly sure if that's what we're looking at. I think we're looking more at the mound as not a place or a physical thing, but it's a process. It's a process of building that engaged the people and it allowed them to manifest their beliefs and their feeling of camaraderie. It's like a winning football team. Everybody is happy, you know, and whatever. It's a good feeling. Mounds are good feelings, and that may be the purpose of them. They gave that feeling.
Plato, the early Greek writer-philosopher, was the first person to pen the legend of the lost civilization of Atlantis. But his version was at best a second-hand telling of a translation of a 5,000-year-old Egyptian story. This legend has been around a very long time, and it seems like every great civilization that has come along since puts their own spin on the ancient mystery.
It's quite possible that people sailed to America as well as walked. And I don't think they were simply following migrating reindeer or different animals. I think they knew where they were. They were able to tell how far north or south or east or west they were, probably by solar observation, by looking at the sun and the stars, sometime probably 40 or 50,000 years ago. Somebody figured out the sky, how to navigate the sky, how the cycles of the seasons worked, how the constellations, the zodiac, the 12 signs that the sun passes through in the course of a year. Somebody figured all this out. And since there's no evidence of writing, there is a notation, number, going back to the Stone Age. There's no evidence for writing. So this knowledge must have been passed on by myth and legend, which is the way most pre-literate people pass on knowledge, myth and legend. And slowly it disseminated around the world. A group of linguists have suggested that there was a common tongue, that the human species spoke a common or closely related language back as late as 50,000. And that would have certainly facilitated, would have made it much easier to spread this knowledge of the sky and mythology, if you like, of the sky planet-wide if we all spoke a related language. It could have been spread by trade, you know, casual contact and this idea of, oh great, this is a great way to organize the sky and navigate, you know, it's a good idea, let's pick up on it. You get the distinct impression that it was done on purpose, that somebody or some group deliberately spread this knowledge. Why? I don't know. They may have done it for power. I mean, if you know how to organize the sky and you tell time and you can navigate by the stars, that's power. And perhaps it was power that motivated them. I don't know. But you get the distinct impression that there was a group of people whose objective was to spread this kind of knowledge in the form of myth. This knowledge is so particular in the way it's expressed on the ground. But what does that mean? That there was a priesthood? That there was some kind of like prehistoric Masons or something that had some kind of secret society that went around spreading this knowledge? Who knows? But you get that impression, you really do, when you look at this stuff closely. In fact, there's good evidence that astronomy goes back to the Upper Paleolithic, as it's called, the Ice Age, in Western Europe, the famous cave paintings like Lascaux of different animals and There's some serious research that suggests that these great bulls in these caves are actually representations of the constellation Taurus. And some of them on the caves, they frequently have fish. It's been suggested they are the sign for Pisces. That's what these things represent. They're ibex and rams and Aries. I mean, it's little known, but there's some fairly convincing evidence. A Belgian researcher did a study on the entrances. She found the original entrances to a lot of these caves, and I can't remember the exact figure, but I think it was 10 out of 12 of them. The entrance to these great painted caves were aligned to important solar dates, like the longest day of the year, shortest day of the year, and so forth. So they weren't accidental. These caves were painted because their openings pointed to significant solar events. The evidence from these caves in Western Europe, they suggest that Taurus is a bull, not because Taurus looks like a bull in the sky, because it takes a bit of imagination to see a bull in Taurus. The stars that form the constellation of Taurus were rising when bulls or cattle were migrating across Western Europe. Got me? So these stars became associated with bulls. Not that they look like bulls. Same thing with Pisces, the fish. The Pisces, I've never been able to see fish in Pisces, right? I doubt if most people could see a fish in Pisces, but it became associated with Pisces because back 40 or 50,000 years ago when salmon migrated from the ocean up the rivers, the stars of the fishes, salmon, stars, and made this connection. So that's why they don't look like they're animals, you know. Of course, as the constellations of the zodiac developed, they became part man and, you know, water bearer and different things, but originally they were animals. Zodiac means dial of animals in Greek, zodiac. So technically speaking, these people weren't doing astronomy, they were doing astrology. They wanted to predict the future in a sense, and you do that by, if you see the sun rising in the south, or starting to rise in the south, you can pretty much bet it's going to get cold. Cold weather's coming. If you see the sun moving to the north, you know the warm weather's coming. So in a broad sense, they were doing astrology. But you can't have astrology without astronomy. You have to look at the sky first.
My adventure into early North American history has led me to a story that is deeper and greater than anything I could have imagined. Dr. Joe Saunders and his buddies working in the Ouachita Valley and other archaeologists working around the world are discovering that the ancient peoples of Earth were a lot smarter than anybody gave them credit for. In fact, I think it's evident that all the great early cultures of Earth were drinking from the same wellspring of knowledge.
Watson Break is probably the first sophisticated large earthworks constructed in the lower Mississippi Valley, maybe in all of North America. There were earlier earthworks, but they weren't as complex as Watson Break. Watson Break there in Marksville and several other sites here in the lower Mississippi Valley, they call ring sites, not because they were completely circular, but because they were groups of earthworks, mounds and walls and platforms that encircled an open area. They form an enclosure around which generally is assumed to be a plaza, a public area. And Watson Break is the first mound center that I know of that completely encircles a plaza. And once this pattern was set, it continued into AD 700. They continued to build circular earthworks around a plaza. It's generally considered to be ceremonial centers where people gathered periodically for ceremonies and rituals. I would suggest that they were sacred sites, and I don't think many archaeologists would disagree with that. People gathered in these sites, these so-called ring sites or plaza sites, and they held ceremonies and rituals, probably like the cave people we were speaking of in Western Europe, because they were probably, the rituals and ceremonies probably involved dance, music, and dressing up in fancy costumes and special outfits, and certainly feasting. There's no doubt that there were a lot of feasts held at these places. We find the remains of butchered animals and plants that they were eating, and so it's a but Watson Break was aligned to horizon positions of the sun on the first day of the 4 seasons. They used it, as I said, as a benchmark around which to build the mounds. At the same time, between 3400 and 3000 BC, the Irish were building what's called passage tombs. They're great mounds of stone and earth. Probably the most famous is Newgrange in Ireland. It's a World Heritage Site. The passage, the entrance to the tomb is aligned to sunrise on the shortest day of the year, winter solstice. At the same time, at the Watson Break site, principal alignment is to winter solstice sunrise. People in the old world, the Irish, building these great tombs oriented to sunrise on the shortest day of the year, and you got people here in the Americas at exactly the same time building huge earthwork complexes and plazas aligned to the same event. That there's some link between Western Europe and the Americas because the alignments are too particular. They're too specific to be just the results of chance. I would suggest, and others have suggested before me, that the earliest earthworks in the Americas, which are located in Louisiana, the knowledge behind those earthworks was inherited. It was brought from Asia when they crossed the Bering Land Bridge 20,000 years ago, whether by sea along the coast or by land, that this heritage came with them. This knowledge of the stars and how to calculate and navigate by the stars, the sun and the moon. And it just trickled down into Louisiana and finally found expression. As to why people decided to express this knowledge in the form of passage tombs in Ireland and in the form of great earthworks here in South Louisiana at the same time, what prompted them to start building architecture that commemorated this knowledge. It's interesting that all this geometry up here is based on the circle, the square, and the triangle. Lord Pakal, this great Maya king, in one hand he had a square, a cube, which is a square in 3 dimensions. In the other hand, he had a circle, a sphere, which is a circle in 3 dimensions. So he had a circle in one hand and a square in the other. And the entrance to his tomb was a great light yellow colored sandstone slab in the form of a triangle. So he had the 3 basic elements of the same geometry they're using to set up the sites here in southeast Louisiana in his hand. Circle in one hand, square in the other, triangle to the entrance. It's assumed that the circle of the sphere represents the great circle of the horizon, the sky, where the sky touches the ground in a great circle. As you look at it, right? No trees. And that the square represents the 4 sacred directions, north, south, east, and west, which forms a square. But I would suggest if the circle represents the sky and the square represents this world, then the circle triangle represents the underworld. And then they have the 3 worlds of Native American cosmology. All this stuff is too particular. I mean, it's too exact. It's too similar to be just coincidence. Oh, the Milky Way legend is not particularly a North or South American phenomenon. I mean, it's worldwide. The ancient Greeks believed that their gate to the upper world was in Gemini, which is in the Milky Way. That's how it works. The entrance to these, where you get on the Milky Way and you travel between the underworld, this world, and the upper world. But the Milky Way is a circle. We only see half the circle at any one time, but the Milky Way is a great circle in the sky. Well, if you have no entrance or exit, you'll go on forever and ever. You'll never reach a destination. So the bridge across the Milky Way, or the gate in the Milky Way, it has different metaphors, was where the sun crossed the Milky Way. And the sun crosses the Milky Way in the constellation of Gemini and Taurus, and 6 months later in the constellation of Scorpio and Sagittarius. Those 4 constellations constitute the gates to the upper world in Gemini and Taurus, and to the underworld in Scorpio and Sagittarius. Baval says that not only is it Orion, but the Nile River next to the Great Pyramids are the Milky Way. That they took the Nile River as being symbolic Milky Way, and Orion is would be on the west bank of the Milky Way in the sky, and that's what they're doing. They're sort of mapping, using pyramids and temples to map the sky to the west of the great river, the Nile on the ground, the Milky Way in the sky. I never thought that I'd wind up speaking to you or anybody else about the stars and this mythology and all this stuff. I was a dirt archaeologist. I love finding things. I mean, it was like a treasure hunt and a detective story all mixed up into one. I loved it. But as I said, it was basically by accident. At this place, this is the place that started me on all that stuff. I had a lot to learn. I didn't know much more about astronomy than the average person. 10 years ago, when I discovered these alignments at Marksville, I had some astronomy. I'm a Navy veteran, and I was in naval aviation as a crew chief, and I knew basic celestial navigation, how to find north if you go down in the ocean, you know. But I didn't. Everything I've learned about astronomy, these prehistoric people taught me, basically.
I started my quest for knowledge and adventure in the Mississippi Territory just 7 miles from my house, and it took me around the world and into outer space. I wanted to find out more about the ancient people of the Ouachita Valley, and I walk away with my treasure, a greater appreciation of human history worldwide.
Islam, Islam, Islam. Marquis says, for real. Okay, they said, thank you, brother. I will be back to learn with you. Much love and much respect. Yeah, Marquis 777. I appreciate you, brother. Tap in, man. Tap into the energy that's telling the truth. I just gave you the names. I just gave you all the names, all right? And you follow these dudes, you gonna know about, how important it is to be married. You can't even be a grand sheik unless you're married. Did y'all know that? You're not supposed to be a grand sheik unless you're married. So whoever's a grand sheik and not married, man, we gotta figure out how did that happen. Straight up, we gotta figure out how that happened. Yeah. Wait a minute. All right, Islam, Islam, Islam. They try to shut me off, y'all. But see, I done learned tricks now. Yes, that's why I love learning, man. Every day, man. Seek out to learn something, and not knowing, that's cool, cause you gotta learn something every day. All right. Now, my whole point of that video was to show you how Europeans are telling our story. Now, talking about hundreds of thousands of years ago, man. Maybe 1,000,000 years. I really want to say 1,000,000 years. We got Albert Perry, dated around 400,000. In the Carolinas, the oldest body found in the world was found in the Carolinas. Albert Perry, due to knowledge. All right, now, I know that these media people, they shadow banned us. They do all types of stuff, man. So I don't play no games with them. They do what they want to do. I'm still going to do my work. I'm still going to do my work, man. Peacefully, respectfully, bringing my people awareness by way of spirituality. And we operate by way of quantum physics, the study of energy, frequency, and vibration with love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, right? With know thyself and Allah. Arm, leg, arm, head. Now, I'm the 7. I'm the Saltman, all the sway on the Chesapeake Bay, BEY. Shouts to the MT for, giving me that moniker, because you can't just take monikers, man, like that, man. You can't have that. Somebody got to give you these names. So, yeah, shouts to the MT for that. I tear the Duke of Tears, man. Yeah. Top notch, dog. You don't want to play with him. He'll wrap you up, boy, and put a bow on the box and discard of you. You hear me? Yeah, boy. But we don't even really debate. I don't debate. I mean, I got time for debating. I teach. I mean, if you ain't understanding what I'm saying, I'm not gonna cram nothing down nobody's throat. If you ain't getting it, okay, cool, because you probably was one of the red apples, or you probably from somewhere else. So the main reason why I use this video, because I wanted y'all to see how Europeans are telling our story, but they're using some truth, some lies, some just stupidity because they just don't know because they wasn't around. It wasn't here when we was building mounds, man. There was no way even being thought of by that time. 1,000,000 years. Now they got us down for 400,000, right? Albert Perry. I'm gonna say double that because I know how these social medias carry it. They down scale on our stuff and upscale on all of their information. And another thing I'm tired of, these guys trying to explain stuff, and man, shut up. He goes into Greek. Man, don't nobody want to hear nothing about everything. Got to be trained. If anybody talk about the Greek set, then you know that is hijack. I don't want to hear nothing else you got to say from this point on. Because I know you on the line Greek shit. I was doing work on the Karamanli language, and it's so mop with Greek translated trash that I'm still digging through it. Man, terrible, boy. You get these archaeologists, man, they always been lying, man. You know they lie. Always lying. Maybe they started off lying. That's why we in all the shit we in now, because they lied and made up a history to put them in power and to put us on the bottom. We was the nobility. We are the nobility. We are the real nobility, i.e., the whites. These are the God bodies, God ciphers, Muslims, operating on their higher self. Yeah, that's the white, us. If you're talking status and jurisdiction, not skin color. If you want to know what color your skin is, look in the 1828 Webster's Dictionary and type in the word American. Tell me what you come up with. Please comment below. Please thumb up the video, y'all. I'm talking about something that's very important, very heavy, very serious, and I want y'all to get it. So we got Trump, and I played it 2 times. We got Trump admitting that Moors built and owned everything in America. He tries to throw, we did it, we all did it. Well, we know y'all did y'all part. Y'all did was pick cotton and pick sugar cane and then because y'all ain't had no building capability. I mean, y'all can't think like us. Y'all don't have the IQs that we have. You guys have none of this super nothing. And I ain't trying to, get on y'all or nothing, but yeah, man. We know the real op look like us. We know this. They just hiding behind y'all. The boule. Whatever, man. Because all y'all gonna get was coming to y'all for what y'all did. So y'all can do whatever y'all want to do what y'all want to do. All I'm saying is this. Man, I'm not your average guy. And I got a couple thousand behind me, man. So when you come at me, I'm just letting whoever reads this and want to be on some stupidness because I'm teaching truth, awareness, uplifting fallen humanity. That's what Moors do. That's what Moab is. We're scientists. We're mathematicians. We're everything. All the sciences come out of Moor's science. And if you don't understand this, because it's not you. So go ahead and be with your nation is. Every nationality has their own everything. Every nationality has their own everything. We got our own stuff. Other nationality, everything. Food, herbs and spices to get us nices. You know what I'm saying? We got these. Because we know how to use our brains and engineer things. That's how we brought the dark ages out. Here goes some soap. Now we're gonna build an aqueduct for y'all. Y'all can get clean water in and dirty water going out. We went to Europe to help build that. We went to Europe to introduce soap to them. We did that. The Moors, the Muslims, we did that. I ain't talking about the MU. What they kept talking about? Troyville, right? Kept talking about Troyville on the video, right? Oh man. Oh, I thought I did something wrong. Okay, cool. My bad, y'all. Man, okay. So look, Troyville, right? They kept talking about Troyville. Now, I see me when I read stuff, man. Look, so it says Troyville Earthworks, right? Located near Jonesville. The Troyville Earthworks are Bay Baytown. See, we already know when we see names like Baytown, it's really BEY town. We already know they talking about Moorish. You ever see like the Chesapeake Bay, BEY. Yeah, these bays are BEYs. That's what I'm saying, man. We got so much stuff you just got to be able to read between the lines, right? So it says, R.A. Baytown, period, Native American archaeologist site that dates from 400 to 700. 700? See? See? This is how I know what I'm reading is substantial. Because I start seeing my numbers. 7, you know what I mean? 7D, right? I start seeing my numbers. I start seeing sevens, and I'm like, oh man, this is where the angels wanted me at. The angels wanted me at. What I don't like is this 64 parish, the shit. I don't like that parish. 'Cause I'm Paris the more. It ain't nothing greasy about me, dog. None of us. None of us. Can't even think dirty. Can't even do it, man. So solid, can't even do it. Wait, I'm trying to find. I want to look this. I want to get the full definition of this word. I want y'all to know the full definition of this word. So we're gonna do the knowledge real quick. It ain't gonna be no like deep. This word I already know it don't have to be. It's like this we already know, but I just want y'all to know. Okay? All right. Give me a sec. This is all right. Paris. All right, a divine community of Christian believers established in a specific church, typically overseen by a pastor or priest. Okay, it's it's a territorial division within the diocese. So that's why some stuff. See, once you find out that they wrote it, now you gotta comb through it. You gotta comb through this now. You can't be, believing, okay, there's Troyville. We know this. See? Pyramids. See all the water, fresh water going in, dirty water going out, and yeah, they rocking out. I've read some stuff said, man, some dudes, they ain't even use the bathroom or something. That bugged me out. I didn't understand that. Reading that one day in the book. But look, it says Albert Herbrose conception of Troyville earthworks, a complex built and in use during the Baytown, the Baytown, the BEY town, the Moorish town. See, we got these. See, they came down here and built on top of our shit like they always do. Like they always do, man. We already know Mozart, the classical musicians, right? Mozart. Mozart. That brother was Melanie. He was a Moor. Then you got Beethoven. Beethoven. B-E-Y, Tovan. Some more. Beethoven. I got both melanated pictures of both of them. And they ain't looking like no Slavics. Period from 400 to 700 CE. Right? Man. Wait a minute. AD. Okay. Oh. You gotta be careful, baby. No, that's not right. It said no. At first it said CE. Now it's saying AD. So you gotta be careful when you're reading these from these clowns, man. All right, so let's see what they talking about. Located near Jonesville in Catalua Parish, right? So, yo, come on, dog. Take that out of there. All that parish shit, take that shit out of there. The Troy earthworks are bathed. There you go. Now let's talk about it. See, that's one of the things I know about reading, right? You can tell when the hijack is going on. Let me tell you how you can tell. In the beginning, second sentence, the first thing they say is what they want you to think. And then they go out with, you know what I'm saying? So why they didn't say Baytown at first? No. First thing they wanted you to know was that the Catholics had their hands in it some type of damn way. Shit. Dirtbags, man. Messing with little boys. Remember Sandusky? Remember him saying Dusty ass? Yeah. Football coach, Penn State. Weighing out all the little boys on the football team. Got like a million years. 70 something years old. Messing with all the football players and going walking in the shower on them and what? He was doing this shit for like 20, 30 years. Joe Petrino, the head coach, man, they snatched his whole legacy down. They was like, he had to know something. He might not have been involved. I think he was involved, but just you better not say nothing, boy. How you not, dog? Don't play around, boy. Sandusky. You better go do your time and shut the fuck up. Yeah, man. Let's get come on, y'all. It's funny, man. It's ridiculous. The site once included the tallest mound in Louisiana. See? Washita, man, we stretched from Louisiana all the way up to the Carolinas, where I'm from. Where Prophet Noble Drew Ali is from. Where Albert Perry is from. Where Henrietta Lacks, she traveled from the Carolinas to Baltimore. She had a surgery done at Johns Hopkins in Baltimore. They're the ones that stole from her. Stole her cervix, and her cervix cures cancer. And only rich people get it. Or you gotta ask about it. If you don't know about it, they ain't gonna get it to you. Cause y'all ain't been saying what's going on lately, man. Off topic, y'all, but it's very important. We'll get back to y'all. Already know this. This our land. Everything land. We know all this. All right, we know this. Man, these little brothers. One little brother. I got the story. I can show it. Y'all can just talk about it. Well, he played football, and he was in tip-top shape, but he got sick. So his parents took him to the hospital. They say everything good with him. He just got mild little cold something. You know what I mean? And they went out to get like something to drink. They came back in, and he was flatlined. The father started doing CPR on him. Started, pushing down on his chest to get his heart to start beating again, right? And they was standing outside of the door laughing because all he wanted is to harvest his organs. That's all because they came in and told the parents he has a good heart, he has good lungs and good this and good kidney. Everything is good. He just going through some little mild sneezing and blowing, and they just wanted to make sure he was okay. It's probably one of the families that really believe in Movement 91. Right, so you never know, man. So this little brother, man, They said he was healthy. Everything okay. Mom and dad steps out the room to go, I guess, to use the bathroom. I don't know. They come back, little brother flatline. They trying to get him back, get him back, get him back, get him back. He doesn't come back. So what they did, they got rid of him so they can get his organs. That's all. So some rich person can buy his heart. So some rich person can buy his lungs. So, man, did y'all watch the movie Get Out? Did y'all watch the movie Get Out? Movie real, man, substantial. Don't make movies for nothing, man. Pay attention. Shit. Stuff a lot, man. Holy breath, y'all. Just sometimes my holy breath is a little fiery. I apologize. Just the way that I am, man. Zero tolerance type of person. I don't play no games with nobody. I'm a grown ass man, and I don't play no games with no children. Nobody. I don't play no games with nobody. I don't play games with people. Like the Circle 7 tells us, don't do nothing to nobody that you don't want done to yourself. So that's what I do. I treat people how I want to be treated. Sometimes it don't go that way. That's how you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. Right? Okay. The site once included the tallest mountain in Louisiana at 82 feet in height. However, throughout the late 19th, early 20th century, the unprotected historical complex was what? Hazardly destroyed. This devastation, man, culminated in a road project in the 1930s when Earth was stripped from the main mound and used as an infill for a bridge approach. A bridge approach, right? Bridges, yeah. They blew up all the bridges that they built down there. They blew them all up. I showed you. It was in the video that I showed earlier. Remember the bridges that were blowing up in the beginning? Yeah. Consideration has been given to replicating the largest mound. So they want to replicate shit. They want to replicate shit, man. Don't be replicating nothing. Make your own shit. I bet you they don't know. I bet you they're gonna have to call a brother to get help. Cause they ain't smart enough to be able to do nothing like that. Yeah, man. So there's just more information, man. So we know that there was a Baytown up there. Look, here you go again. Baytown, Bey, in Troyville. It might have been the I don't know, because we taught Latin, Turkish, Arabic, Algonquin here. We didn't deal with Jones could be English. I haven't done the knowledge on Jones yet. But the Black River, oh yeah, the Black River too, yeah. It is. Bank of the Black River. So remember they was talking about they turned the Black River into the White River. They poured some trash in it, and now the river is not black anymore. Yeah, hijacks, man. They do all types of stuff. So yeah, let me that's it. Oh, did I put that shit up with it? I told y'all about the word parachment, right? So let's look at it real quick. I'm gonna do the knowledge and I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. I hope all is well. I hope everything stays well, right? Love, honor, respect to everybody, man. That's on their higher self. and doing right, taking care of the family, taking care of yourself, taking care of your parents, doing right, getting out the mud, ain't doing no home invasions, ain't robbing and killing your brothers, and come on, man. Come on, dog. That's the reason why we got into the bullshit that we in right now. Read that was destroying everything. So yeah, look, read this real quick. So yeah, the term parish. Yeah, I spelled Perish, parish, not Paris. Right. Means to become destroyed or ruined, cease to exist. It can also refer to dying, especially in an accident, or by being killed, or to being destroyed. In essence, it signifies a state of loss or death, often in an untimely manner. So that's perishing, when you're perishing. That's why when I saw that up there, I'm like, I know these Catholics be calling the parish thing. I don't like that shit. So yeah, man. But it's hard because when you got a God body on it, when you got a Muslim or a revealer of light, somebody that really walks it and talks it and lives it and eats it and paws and you know what I mean, just bees it. Like you can't joke, you can't fake out the Father of the universe. Let's read this. What's this say? It say Dunbar provided the first written description when he and George Hunter passed by their exploration of the Ouachita River Valley. Oh man. I got something else on. This is the okay, wait a minute. So let me share the screen on this one. Hold on. More stuff, boy. Allah just be revealing. Because we go out and look for it, man. Go out and look. It's time consuming the whole nine, but we gotta work, man. We gotta work. Look, check this out. Coming from the Dunbar Hunter expedition, right? Yeah, no familiar words, I don't care about all that. Now, wrong people, but we know what's up. We already know. Trump said it today, that, and then we already know about Washington, Doug the Mound Builders. We already know. Shouts to Empress Verdice. Yeah. Yeah. The drawing illustrates how the 1804 and 1805 Hunter Dunbar expedition may have appeared as explorers transversed the lower Ouachita River. Yeah, the Ouachita River. It has, I'm sorry, the 1804-1806 expedition of Meriwether Lewis and William Clark from St. Charles, Missouri, to the Pacific Northwest is considered a milestone in the exploration of North America. Yet their voyage was not the only one to adventure into the newly acquired Louisiana Purchase territory. Yeah, newly acquired. Yeah, we know this, man. Yeah. We know about that, but we know who originally built it. Washita, the Mound Builders, man. Washita, same thing. We already know, man. So yeah, man, I'm gonna get out of here. I got the family probably already know the family. Come on, Daddy, we got stuff to do. It's out of y'all, man. man. You don't go nowhere without daddy, man. Nowhere. My wife be like, you ain't going, I ain't going. But that's love. Please, man, thumb up the video, man. Please send it out to at least one person. Everybody that came through the chat, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for the support. Please thumb up the video. Please send it out to one person. We have got to know what's going on. They talking about shutting off the electricity. Canada. Man, y'all ready for that? Half the people don't even know about the shit. What? You don't know about that? Man. So much going on, man. But I come out with it. It was that. What was the oh yeah, and it was what Trump said. He pretty much said the Moors owned America, man. You know what I'm saying? In so many words. He said we helped, meaning that they helped us. And yeah, it's time to get back to it. Read between the lines. We can read between that. Him meaning we mean picking cotton for him. And we are running them. Read book, white cargo. Go to the Internet Archive, free books. Type in white cargo. Read the book or listen to it through your earphones. It's Pastor Moore. I love y'all. I'm strong, man. I'm strong. I need y'all to be strong. Stay strong. Stay smart. Stay away from these electrical devices a lot. Stay away from the TV a lot. We also, man, I'm not gonna go. That's another video. I'll be another 30 minutes talking about that. Just watch these TVs and these electrical devices, man. Don't be in front of them so much. Okay? So I'm out, y'all. I love y'all. Stay strong, stay smart. Assalamu alaikum. Shabbat shalom. Islam. Shalom. Peace. Paris Moore. Signing out.